What's going on, my boxing brothers and sisters? It's another edition of Major Key Interviews, man. We got the man right here, the Iceman, the Iceman. You know what I'm saying? If you know the 1990s, the boxing when it comes to middle and lightweight, light heavyweight, then you're gonna know about this man right here, Iceman, John Scully. Welcome to the building, sir. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate
How
it.
you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Everything's good. I just got to the gym and getting ready to start training tonight. And everything's great.
That's what's up, man. Well, so I was actually born in Norwalk, Connecticut. I know you're from
Oh, okay.
Hartford, right? So I know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
from Hartford. You know, I was raised though in the Bronx. I moved there when I was 2 years old. And all of that great stuff. Lived around the tri-state area though, but I actually was born in Norwalk, and
Oh,
and I
okay.
know that you're from Hartford. So you lived all your life in Hartford?
Yeah, I've moved away briefly in 1991. I lived in Pensacola, Florida. I was training with Roy Jones for a while. And then a few years ago, I lived in Orlando, Florida for a few years. And then I moved back to Connecticut.
All right, I'm around Orlando right now. What part of Orlando you live in?
Wait a minute. Right, these guys are making noise. Hey, hold on one second. You gotta turn the noise down. Sorry about that.
No problem, no
Ask that
problem.
question one more time.
Yeah, I said I'm in Orlando right now. I'm in Central Florida right now. What part of
Oh,
Orlando?
you are? Okay, I was in Ocoee. I was right over the border in Ocoee, like literally half-mile from the border.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because there's a Ocoee and then there's Winter Garden. I actually, I don't know if you remember Pollo Tropical over there. You know the Tropi Grill. I used to be a manager over there.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All I knew is the first day I moved there, I was on Colonial Drive, and that night there was like 3 shootings on Colonial Drive.
That's Pine Hills over there. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Crime. They call it Crime Hills.
Exactly. You see, you only know that if you're from around here, Crime Hills, man.
Right.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. So for the people that don't know exactly who you are, man, just explain who you are, what's got you in boxing. You could have been doing a lot of other things, but obviously, you stuck to boxing even after your career. You're doing things with training. So just let the people know who you are, what drove you, what your career was like, and how you got to where you're at right now with training.
Right. Well, I started boxing at early 80s. Big fan of Muhammad Ali, and I grew up in the era of 1976 Olympics. Muhammad Ali's the end of his career, the beginning of Sugar Ray Leonard's career. The Rocky movies had just come out, so I was big into boxing as a young kid. My father brought me to a gym because I used to pretend on the weekends. I used to box in his bedroom, and I would pretend I was Muhammad Ali, boxing against Joe Frazier, Jimmy Young, different guys. So my father saw how much I liked this, so he brought me to a gym when I was 14, and I just stuck with it. I was there every day, since. I've been in, literally, he brought me there since I was 14. When I was 14, I've been in the gym ever since. And just, I fought at a high level as an amateur in the 1980s. And, I was in the same area, the same time frame as Roy Jones, Joe McClellan, Riddick Bowe, Ray Mercer, Michael Carbajal, Kennedy McKinney, all those guys. And we all turned pro at about the same time. I fought pro for 13 years. Fought for the world title against Henry Maske in Germany. I fought on TV maybe 12 times, 14 times, something like that. And after I retired, after my last fight, I started training pro fighters. I was training amateur fighters my whole pro career. I was in between my fights, I was training amateurs and going on national tournaments and with the amateurs. And then as a pro trainer, I've trained 4 world champions and I assist in the training of Artur Beterbiev right now. So that'd be 5. Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Beterbiev is no slouch, man. Like that's
He's a beast.
Tough dude right there. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know. So right now, from what I understood, going into your bio, you're looking to expand gyms into Florida. Have you already started doing that, or you still working on that?
Well, I moved back from Florida. I'm actually in Connecticut now. So right. I have a connection with Florida. We do stuff. I do stuff with guys down there. But I'm based in Connecticut right now. I'm actually in the gym in Hartford, Connecticut right now, the Charter Oak Boxing Academy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's when you were down here. Did you work with Anthony Arvello or anybody like that?
No, when I was down there, I was training. I was actually training at two different gyms. I used to train at Christy Martin's gym, which was literally
That was Daytona,
right around the corner. Her gym was in Apopka, which is right next to Coe. Her gym was right there.
She got one now in Daytona as well.
Yeah, but she lives in the Carolinas. She doesn't live in Florida anymore.
Yeah.
And I just saw her the other day. She had a tournament in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I was down there. But the gym I was training at was in Winter Springs, it's called UFC. It was on Tuscaloosa, and they're still there. They're doing good. I'm in touch with them quite a bit still.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, let me pass you off to Troy, man. So Troy can get some questions, and we'll rotate it back around.
All right.
There you go, John. Finally, what's up? Got you on. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. It took a minute, but you're here. I don't know if you know Harold. I had a conversation with a former boxer named Harold Weston. You heard of Harold Weston? Yeah, he fought Conor. Yeah, he was telling me. Yeah, he was telling me, that he fought everyone, much like yourself, but it came down to the last minute, and he used the word, luck of the draw, kind of, and that's why he won some, he lost some. And, you have a career that's similar to that. You fought basically everyone, right?
Right.
Like, I remember your fight with Nunn, and to this day, I'm still wondering what the hell the judges were looking at, but that's neither here or there, right? I saw that fight. What you mean. I saw that fight. So yeah, let's just say you had to describe your career, like give a quick bio of it. What would you say it was like? The ups and downs and all that, because you had a good career now. You didn't win a world championship, right?
No, I fought for the world title in Germany. I'll tell you a funny thing about my career. I had a good career. I fought a lot of tough guys. I didn't have necessarily great management. Like I fought a lot of top guys, a lot of top contenders, sometimes like one after the other. And at the time, I didn't realize how the business worked. And I just took fights. Like if I got offered a good fight, I was very excited. I didn't care about the money or anything. I was just excited about the fight. And after my career was over, I've had so many matchmakers and promoters and managers say to me, like, man, who was running your career? Like, you just fought tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. Probably could have been moved differently and things like that. But I mean, in hindsight, I wouldn't take anything back. I mean, I'm glad I fought the guys I fought. And, I think my biggest problem or weakness was making weight. Most fighters will tell you, most fighters will have a horror story about making weight as a pro. I have a lot of horror stories about making weight. It was just, some of it was my fault, I admit, but for what it's worth, I mean, it was very hard to make weight for a lot of these fights. And, it just caused me a lot of problems. I always thought I could make the weight for certain fights. And next thing you know, it's 2 days before the fight and I'm still, I'm still 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds overweight. So my biggest adversary was making weight probably as a pro.
Okay. It would also, you also made history. I'm not sure how many other fighters are in 2 different Hall of Fames.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've been in a couple. I got in the Connecticut Hall of Fame. I was in the Billy C. Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm getting honored actually at the Atlantic City Hall of Fame next month on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, which I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame is a spectacular weekend. I mean, last year we had Roberto Duran was there. I ran Barkley, Roy Jones, Mark Breland. I mean, everybody was there. It was a really, really great weekend. So, I've been lucky. I mean, to be recognized by anybody, to be honest, is an honor, to just for a guy that just grew up loving boxing like I did, and to be able to be in the game and to have anyone to be on your show, to be honest with you, to be on your show is an honor. Like, it's an honor that somebody would like to even interview me. I'm really surreal to me. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
You know, it's our absolute pleasures, by the way, man. Like we try to show these guys, because you know right now there's a lot of casuals, man. You know, probably about what 15, 20 years ago, man, everything started transitioning a little bit with the UFC coming into the picture and all that, and we kind of lost a lot of the luster, you know, of the game, and well, not, you know, not the game, but you know, the sport. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, man, like some of us, that was our upbringing. Like for me, it was my upbringing. My grandmother introduced me to this sport. You know, the whole neighborhood used to come into my apartment in the Bronx. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, to my grandmother's apartment, and everybody had to buy. Even the guy that gave us the illegal box, he was there just in case they sent the bullet through, and he had to fix it right away. Okay, he was there.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I got a lot of love for the sport. It's you know, nostalgic for me. And I try to just let these guys know, you know, what the sport is really about, and they can't really hear it by me, because they just see me as just another content creator. We have to have interviews with folks like yourself that really put them in line with what happened back then and what's going on and all that. But you know, like for example, to prove that you are a true spirit. I'm gonna put it like this: you're a true old school dude, in the sense that you had Chad Dawson and you left him after his fight, right?
Right.
With Andre Ward, because he didn't listen to you.
Well, it was a lot to it. I'll tell you what happened. You know, I had him for, you know, when he fought Carl Daniels, different fights, Bernard Hopkins, you know, everything was great. When they decided to go down, and I say they decided to go down to 168 to fight Andre Ward. I didn't agree with it. I didn't think it was. They never asked me my opinion. You know, I just was told they're going down to we are going down to 168. I said, okay, well, you know. So I asked, like, my first question was, listen, can you make 168 like legitimate? And he's, oh, everything was, oh, no problem. We got it, this and that. And I said, oh, wow, sounds great. You know, during the training camp, he didn't make it easily. I mean, I'll say that, and not taking anything away from Andre Ward whatsoever. But Chad it was horrific what he had to go through to make that weight. At one point, maybe 2 weeks out of the fight, you know, the strength coach was trying to come off like everything was on schedule. And I'm like, man, like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not on schedule. This is horrible. He's going to kill himself to make that. I said, we should cancel this fight. And that was what I told his manager. I said, we got to go through this. Cancel it. This is stupid. You're not fighting Mickey Mouse. I mean, you're fighting the pound for pound best fighter in the world. You're fighting Andre Ward. Come on, man. And, you know, he went through with it. So fine. You lose the fight. You lost to a great fighter. You have your excuses, but it is what it is. But the problem was that fight in the aftermath actually highlighted an aspect of professional boxing that people do not understand. Someone in the camp said, we win and lose as a team. And I always used to think that. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? We didn't win and lose as a team. Because here's the thing. Everybody on the team has different interests. Like, Chad is the champion. He's Chad. Everybody is connected with him. But as a trainer, I'm connected with other people. I'm trying to be connected with other people. So if you go and lose a fight and look bad, and it's going to reflect on me. So losing the weight was, you know, huge in his performance. Like, you saw how he looked against Hopkins, and then he turns around and looks that way weak against Andre. Now, I was against making the weight. I was against how he made it. I was vocal about it. So when they said we win and lose as a team, you know, and somebody emailed me and like, man, what were you doing? Like that's how you got him ready for the fight. So I realized we're not winning and losing as a team, because I'm not going down with this ship having people think that I co-signed this. So I spoke out and I said, hey, I didn't agree with the way. I didn't agree with this. I didn't co-sign. I didn't make him lose 5, 6, 7.5 pounds the day before the weigh-in. I didn't do that. So people got mad at me within the camp. And I said, you're just mad because you're who I'm talking about. Like, you did that, you know. So you want to go down as a team to deflect the blame on you. You want to take some of that blame off of you. Well, I'm not doing that. If I was a part of it and agreed with it, I would go down with the ship. But as a trainer who looks to train other people, I got to say, hey, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. I didn't have anything to do with it. And, you know, I have no problem saying it now. I didn't have anything to do with that disaster at all. Nothing.
That's what's up, man. Yo, I appreciate you being real about that, man. I mean, Troy, did you want to jump in on that? It sounded like you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's as blunt and honest as. I know you can't see me because I'm laying down. That's why I'm not coming on camera. But John, that's about as blunt and honest as a person could be. That's as blunt as because you cared about his welfare, but you also thought about yourself as well.
Yeah, well, you know, like in the immediate time, I was thinking about him. Like I said, I told his manager, cancel this fight. This is stupid. Like, we're not gonna beat Andre Ward. Matter of fact, in the ring. Before the fight, like in the ring, right? Nick Cannon was in there doing the announcing, and I said something to Chad, like, you know, keep your hands up, you know, whatever, last minute advice. And I swear he didn't even see me. He just walked right by me, you know, like he looked through me. And so as soon as the fight was over, no, right when he did that, I said to his manager, I go, I told you guys, we're in big trouble. And when it was over, and he stopped, and I went over to the manager, I said, I told you guys, you listen to everybody in the camp except me. But now the truth comes out. You know, when the light shines, the truth comes out. And you know, I was mad. I was mad because nobody listened to my field of expertise. And part of that, honestly, I had been through losing weight so many times and performed badly and had to live with that. You know, to this day, people say, "Oh, what happened with you against Tony Thornton? What happened to you against Drake Dazzy? What happened?" You know, and I got to explain, well, that wasn't me. I had to lose 12.5 pounds a day before the fight, you know, and they don't want to hear that. So I knew that was going to happen to Chad. And you see where his career went after that. That was all a result of that terrible weight loss. And, you know, I just felt, whether it's selfish or whatever it is, I felt it necessary to let people know I had nothing to do with that. Because as a trainer, I don't want future clients to be shy away because they go, man, this freaking guy had his guy lose all that weight. You know, that wasn't me.
All right, so I wanted to follow up, and I appreciate that as well. So I wanted to follow up. I didn't want to switch gears just yet because I do want to hear about your fight with Michael Nunn. You know what I'm saying? That was a popular fight. But since we're talking about this, has there been a time where you felt at a disadvantage because of some lack of training or anything like that in one of your fights?
Well, I felt due to serious weight loss, whether it was my fault or not, I had at least 4 fights that I can think of, five fights, one that I won, where weight loss greatly affected me. I can remember another fight where it was on TV, and I was the business of boxing and dealing with a manager and a promoter had negatively affected me psychologically, emotionally, so much that I trained for a fight just to make the weight. I was so disinterested in winning, you know, and truly doing what I had to do to actually win. You know, like it's almost like,
you say it was more like a payday instead of like more like a competition to win. It was more like just like, can I just get my payday at least?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like I wanted to win, but when I look back on it, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. I remember after one of the early rounds, I was against the ropes a lot because I was tired. I was worried about my legs wearing out. And I remember my manager in the corner saying to me, if you don't get off the ropes, I'm not going to be here next round when you come back to the corner. And so that round, I went right out to the ropes. I went right to the ropes because I wanted him to not be there. I wanted people. I actually thought he would really do it, like not show up in the corner. So I did it on purpose because I wanted him not to come, because I wanted people to see what I was going through, you know. And I'll tell you, funny, boxers are, you know, fragile people, but they're strong people. And by that I mean, you see people in the business of entertainment, and they have breakdowns. You know, that girl, I forget her name, but the famous actress, she's young, like in her 20s. A couple years ago, she had a break. Britney Spears had a couple breakdowns. You know, things go beyond the scenes, and they can't take it. And unfortunately, you know, a fighter, sometimes he has a breakdown in the fight. He has a breakdown in the training. And I feel like, looking back, a couple times in my career, I think that kind of happened to me. It was like I just went through with the fight because that's what I do. I'm a fighter. I'm a boxer. I have to fight. But I kind of imploded right on national television. Just said part of it was almost like I say, I wanted to do it in front of the boxing world on TV so they could see what I was going through. I wanted my manager not to come back to the corner because I wanted to be able to tell people, see what I'm dealing with. You know, and it's a crazy game. It's a very psychological game. I remember when Muhammad Ali lost to Larry Holmes. Now, he had to take the fight. He needed the money. He was older. He was losing weight. He had thyroid problems. And somebody wrote it was like an autopsy being done on a live body. And I understand that. Like, I remember being in fights in the 6th round and just thinking, I don't belong here. Like, I'm not ready for this. I'm physically, psychologically, I'm not ready for this. And, you know, I look good. I've got abs. You know, I'm trim. I made weight. But I'm not ready for this. And it would take me hours to explain why. You know, so when you see two guys box on television, and when I was a kid watching boxing, when I saw two guys on TV, I automatically assumed they were both ready, 100%. Training camp went great. Everything was prepared. And as a pro, I realized it's not the case, man. When you watch two fights, you aren't always seeing two guys at their best, you know, and that's a huge aspect of training camp, trying to get these guys somewhere remotely close to their best. And that's a job in itself right there.
That's what's up, man. Hey, man, the crowd is loving the way that you're elaborating so much and keeping it a buck with us, man. We appreciate that. You know, I mean, this is exactly what we invite you over here for. So I'm glad that you're just bringing that energy. So Troy, if you don't have a question, if you do have a question, then pass it off to Bruce after. If not, I'll just pass it to Bruce. Right.
I'm just letting you know, John, that you did promise half an hour. We're coming up on a half an hour now. If you could stay longer, that would be fantastic, man, because I love what you're saying and I love your energy. So, you know, if you have a few more minutes, that'll be great.
Yes, sir. Man, I tell you what, I got my guys. Let me ask them.
Okay.
Daryl, do I have 10 minutes? All right, I got 10 minutes.
You got 10 minutes? Okay, good.
So Bruce, okay, we'll pass it to you, Bruce. Bruce is a historian when it comes to boxing. He won't give himself that much credit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll probably tell you something right now that you probably don't even remember about yourself, you know? So
okay.
Nah. John, how are you, bro? I
put that much press on you, Bruce, but I know sometimes.
Good. How are you?
Go ahead, Bruce,
good,
man. Go ahead and get your platform, man.
All right, man. John, we talked on Black Stars panel a few months ago, bro. I know you're the real deal, man, and you know, it was a pleasure talking to you then. And I know we talked a little bit about the Cuban boxers, man, and you kind of brought into perspective how humble they were, and you know and also on the other hand how they were when they came in here and were given $1 million contracts. But can you go back and explain a little bit about your dealings with Cuban boxers?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. In 1994, I had just fought at Foxwoods. I fought a good fight, 10-round fight, and I won. And a couple weeks, 3 weeks after that, the Cubans came to box the Americans. They came to box Terrence Cawthon, Antonio Tarver was there, Michael Nunnally was there. You know, good fighter, good team. And they hired me to take care of the Cuban and the American team, and especially the Cubans. So I said, okay. So I picked them up from the airport. I did all these things with them. I took them to eat. I took Teofilo Stevenson to the mall to buy shoes. We tried to get a carburetor for a car for Felix Savon that he had back in Cuba. And but the thing that always stood out to me was we picked up both teams at the airport on separate flights. We picked them up late at night. It was after 11, and we picked up the Cuban team first. And I remember, and these are, Felix Savon was there, Teofilo Stevenson, Ariel Hernandez, Enrique Carrion, like great amateurs, Olympians, world champions. And they got off the plane and they got on the bus, and nobody spoke. Nobody said a word. They just sat down, two in an aisle, four in an aisle, never said a word, just sat there, listened, whatever the coach said. When he said get up, they got up, they walked off the bus. So I said, wow, that's pretty cool. So then like an hour later, we go pick up the American team, and they get off, the plane. And these guys, it's like midnight, and these guys are laughing and joking, and they're making fun of each other, and they got the music blasting, and it was like a party bus. Like they got on the bus, and they're just clowning, right? And whoever I was with, I don't remember. I looked at him and I said, "We're in trouble. we're in trouble." And sure enough, I spent like 2 weeks with both teams, and and good guys and everything. And but like one of I won't name his name, but one of the Americans, I took him on a run, and I ran with them. And one of the guys, a very well-known fighter, and he like quit halfway through the run, and I'm like, what? Like you're fighting one of the killers, one of the top Cubans. And I actually slowed up so he would have somebody to finish the race with. But then I went with the Cuban guys, and these guys are just, they're machines. Their mentality coming from, and I always say, poor in America and poor in different countries are different things, and that's not to say we don't have terribly poor people here, but I know poor people that still have TVs, they still have a console, they still have a car. Poor people in countries like Cuba, they don't have TVs, they don't have Felix Savon, who's a 3-time Olympic champion, 8-time world champion, Pan American Games champion. Like in this country, he'd be a multi-millionaire. Over there, he was trying to get us to bring him to a junkyard, a chop shop, because he wanted to get a carburetor for like a 1974 Honda, and I'm like, this guy needs a carburetor for a Honda from like 20 years ago at the time. In this country, he'd have a Mercedes-Benz, he'd have a Lamborghini. So they bring a different energy with them and a different hunger that it's difficult for American guys to really register. It's really difficult for them to get. And I think that's why Cuba has dominated so hard all these years. I mean, an American beating a Cuban is a big deal. A Cuban beating an American is a regular thing. I mean, Felix Savon knocked out like 7 of our best heavyweights that went on to become world champions and top contenders. So it's a different vibe over there. To beat a Cuban is a huge accomplishment.
John, now how about the tragic story of Jorge Gonzalez when he was given the credit cards and the apartment in Las Vegas? How did that go down?
Well, he was a great super heavyweight. He was, he won that. Jorge Luis Gonzalez won the Pan American Games. A lot of people don't even know who he is. Like when I say the name Jorge Luis Gonzalez, now the way I'll refresh people's memory, I'll say the Cuban with the horrible haircut that Riddick Bowe knocked out on HBO. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. I said, man, you don't, but you remember him for that. But when he won the Pan American Games, he beat Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe 2 days in a row in the semifinals and finals. He beat those two guys convincingly, gave them both 8 counts and everything. He was a killer. He beat Teofilo Stevenson when he was like 17 years old. But what happened is, being that poor, he came over here. They did the worst thing possible. They brought him to Las Vegas and they gave him an apartment on the strip somewhere, or near the strip. And so now he comes from Cuba. He goes to Vegas. They give him money every week, and he walks outside and he's got strippers and, you know, shows, and he's got the strip and he's got the lights. And you saw what happened by the time he fought Riddick Bowe. I don't even think he cared what happened to him against Riddick Bowe, because already he was a gazillionaire compared to what he was in Cuba. So I think boxing didn't even matter to him anymore. Getting out of Cuba was the important thing more than actually being a boxer was.
Thanks, brother. Man, you're a historian, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what's up, man. Well, look, Troy, go ahead and because I know you. Just in case you forget, I want to mention to John Scully. Look, man, if you're, and my bad, I forgot to put my cam back on. If you have, because you're training, if you have boxers that need some limelight, need some representation, some exposure, you guys have a home right here. All right.
Thank you. Listen, I've got Richie Rivera, light heavyweight, 18-0. He's fighting 19-0. He's fighting in Worcester, Massachusetts, in a few weeks. He actually would have been on the show tonight, but I guess they're coming back from the press conference, and he's in, you know, he probably doesn't have Wi-Fi where he's at. But I love to get him on. He's a very entertaining. They call him Popeye. He's got the Popeye hat, the whole nine. Entertaining kid, good kid. I've gotten to know him pretty well over the last, you know, months, and you know, I really like to see him get some attention. He's a good fighter coming up, but I think people are going to hear from him.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Go ahead, Troy. Go ahead and close it up.
Yeah.
Bruce doesn't have a channel, but do you want anybody to know where to follow you, Bruce?
No, man, I'm around all the time. Anybody wants me to jump on, drop me a link, bro.
You pop up a channel and Bruce gonna be there. Just put it like that.
I'm working on one, bro. John, if you can come on with me when I get it, man, we chop it up.
Let me know, man. I'll expose that as well. But yeah, go ahead, Troy, then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna echo what Major Key said, man. You know, after this show, I know you might be getting some more calls. You're the second fighter we had on here that said, you know, I'm surprised you called me. I heard that from Troy Dorsey too, and I'm like, really? Yeah. So listen, I don't care how many people call you first. I mean, you know, call you after the show. We your first choice, and we your family over here. So always come back. And as far as Popeye, that's a done deal. I just have to talk to you on the back end, and I'll schedule it, and it's all done. You don't have to worry about that, right?
Very much. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And also, I'm going to work on. I definitely want you back, but I don't want to say too much, because in this business, you don't want to put too much of your plans out there, right? But definitely appreciate you, man. You came with such pure energy that really I didn't have too much to do. I just had to shut up to let you go, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. You guys ask great questions. I love the vibe of your show. It's a real show. I like it.
I appreciate
you guys come across like real boxing fans.
Tell everybody where to find you, though, before you leave. Where can everybody find you and support you?
I'm always on Facebook. I have Iceman John Scully, and I have John the Iceman Scully. 2 different pages. You know, I'm on there. You know, I have a lot of boxing stuff going on. If you love boxing and history, things like that, I think my page is pretty good. I recommend you at least check it out.
I'll check it out after this.
All right. Well, John, thank you again, man. We appreciate any amount of time you gave us, and we appreciate all the time you gave us as well. So thank you. And we definitely will be seeing you again. And I know the fans appreciate you. So if you want to say something to the folks in the chat room, you know, be my guest, and thank you.
Hey, I'm honored that you guys stuck around to listen to me. So thank you. I appreciate it very much. Any feedback? I love reading the feedback. I love talking to boxing fans, and you know, because we're all, at the end of the day, no matter what our position is, we still love boxing. Everybody's a boxing fan. You know, I'm a boxing fan. You guys are boxing fans, and the piece of people listening are boxing fans. So I love chopping it up with whoever it is, and it's really a cool thing. I appreciate getting the opportunity to speak.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you being here, man. Do you because I know you have to go train right now. Do you know how to remove yourself from here, or do you? Want me to
yeah, I see it in the corner. Yes, sir. Okay, I got it.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so
All right,
much.
guys.
Salute to you, man. Everybody go ahead and follow Iceman
Mixer Strike.
Scully. And
Yes, sir.
we're hopefully going to be getting Popeye on here, very soon. And now we move into pre-smoke Friday before Black and Brown goes on later on this evening. We're gonna heat it up a little bit over here, man. So I'm gonna drop the link again, man. We're gonna drop the link. Whoever wants to stick around here, you're more than welcome. But we're gonna start talking about some of these events or some of these arguments that have been going on YouTube, man. Like, I haven't given my perspective. I've been too busy this week, but I've been hearing everything, man. I've been dropping on some people's channels here and there, giving my perspective a little bit, but I don't think people are hearing me, man. It's like I gotta go on everybody's channel just to give my perspective, but I could just drop it on my own channel, right? Why not? Why not just drop it on my own channel? What's going on, Guido? How you doing, bro? What's on your channel?
What's good? What's poppin', bro? What's good? What's up, Troy Grant? What's up, Boost? What up?
What's up, baby? What's up?
Yeah, you getting heated up for free
We
smoke
cooking
Friday?
tonight.
Like,
You got the barbecue started or what?
Yo, we getting it. We starting right now, man. I'm just putting in the charcoal, man. You know what I'm saying? That's
You
it.
saying who got the hamburgers? Anybody got hamburgers up there?
Respect to all of y'all,
They
man.
want to bring that hamburgers to the party. You know what I'm saying? We'll heat that up.
Yeah.
So what's going on, man? So Guido, man, what's everybody been talking about, man? I've been busy, man. Haven't even
Hold
really
on,
had
Troy. I think you got an echo.
Chop it up with you real quick.
Troy, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, no, I haven't really had a chance to chop it up with a lot of people this week. I've been busy, but I seen you all over the YouTube streets, man. Yo, tell us what's been going on so we could dive right into it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it.
What's going on? We got the delusional fanboys, or I call them fangirls. They saw a delusional.
It's
These
pre-smoke.
guys are delusional, but how are they gonna say Canelo is ducking the fight? They trying to. So the LDBC and the PBC fanboys lovers are trying to say that Canelo is the reason why the fight hasn't happened, or is the reason why it fell because the Canelo was ducking. I mean, goddamn, bro.
So
we all know Canelo wants to become undisputed world champion. We know that.
So who specifically? Because I don't shout out particular groups, bro. So who specific? If you're gonna say LDBC, right? Because I know there's different people.
All right. So I'm gonna drop it right now.
Not everybody carries the same narrative, so I have to clarify that. You know what I mean? Like I know what you're trying to say, but who specifically are you referring to?
Well, I'm talking about like specifically Kaka TV, the Duty Man TV, and we got Bitch Boy Ego, right? I'm gonna call him Bitch Boy Ego. And the third one we got Dante Cheeseburger Nason. These three, the top three haters. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
These guys are spreading their narrative like never before.
You going straight for the top with this one? You going straight for the top?
Yeah, man. Shit. I see you got a first cup, bro. What's up with that?
Because I got my homeboy coming down. I got my homeboy coming down. And we're gonna have to get out and get some drinks. You know what it is. Hold on. Who's this? So you're facing me in the background, brother, and I'll let you on because I think I know who this is. Okay, hold on. Give me a couple seconds. That's P-Boxing. I believe it's P-Boxing. Show me your face one more time. I'm not gonna put it on. Okay, that is P-Boxing. Okay, there you go. All right, go ahead.
Yo. Listen. I came on to say to you,
long time no speak.
How you doing, Glenn? Listen, the other day, last week, somebody came to my channel, and what they done is like they showed your face live picture.
They did that to 3 channels. That's why I just told you to show your face in the background because they did that to me as well here, but they did it to 3 other channels.
And what they've done is basically, obviously, like I got no beef with you, and me and you we settled our difference quite a while ago. And to begin with, we never had beef anyway. In the first place, it was those kids.
I missed that though. Let's make some differences right now. What the fuck? I haven't spoken to you in a long time. Let's make some differences. This is a new day.
And what they've done is like they stepped up their game. The trolls basically they showed the obviously the whatever, you know what I mean, the dick piece, whatever, you know what I mean. And they've been doing it quite a while, so I'm not with that shit, man. That's why I don't really rock with those type of people anymore. But I've just heard Guido talking about the people that you just mentioned. They're not LDBC, Guido. Can you hear me?
What do you mean they're not LDBC?
The people that you mentioned,
came over here to correct me. Is that what you're trying to say? Come on, man.
No. They're not. Listen, no. I don't want to argue. I didn't come here to
Are they
argue.
pro Black China or not?
Listen,
Answer my
ego is not.
question.
Listen, no. Ego is not LDBC.
Answer my question.
Dante Boxing
Answer
Nation.
my question.
Yes. What do you want to know? What did you ask me? Because I don't know what the question was.
Okay, all right. So what is your purpose for you to come over here? What do you want to talk about?
So
No,
basically,
because
hold on, Pete. What he's saying is basically you came to address him about something he said, right? And he's
Yes.
saying, "What are you saying?" So, yo, that's up to y'all.
What you
It's
came to
free
talk
smoke right
about?
now.
Listen, I know Mitch
you came to
Boxing
the
there, but
fandom or you came over here to what you
I'm
want to
here.
do?
No, I'm here to clarify something because I was listening to Glenn talking here, and he was saying you have to talk about Pacific because you can't keep saying LDBC. Like
All
Glenn
right, so let me
is a
ask
proper
you.
channel.
So all right, so I'm gonna ask you, Mr. P Boxing, how
I'm
you
not.
feel
Listen, I'm not here on no. I'm not here on no bullshit, man. I'm a grown man. Guido, I'm sure you're a grown man. Leave it all behind, all the bullshit from the past.
You coming at me?
No.
You
The
coming
reason
at
why I
me?
came at you, I'm not really coming
You
at
acting
you.
like
All I'm saying.
you acting like if I was
No,
attacking you, and I'm
no.
talking
I'm not
about
even attacking. I'm
LGBT,
not
and I've
attacking.
named 3 Pacific group. I named them.
Listen.
And
I was
you over
listening in the
here,
background.
come over here trying to tell me that they're not LDBC. We know what it is
I
with
was
these
listening
groups.
to
Come on, man.
I was listening to the
All right,
interview.
but I want to
Obviously,
ask you, fuck all that bullshit. I want to ask you, how do you feel that they saying that Canelo is the reason why the fight hasn't happened? I want to hear
okay.
from you. What
Before
you got to say about that?
before that, I want to clarify. Those people are not LDBC. The people that you're talking about. And
Oh,
with
my
all
Lord.
respect, we're all grown men. Let's say the proper names. You don't have to say Akaka TV. You don't have to say like we don't have to act like
Akaka
we don't have.
TV. See,
This is the thing. I'm not on troll. I'm not on troll mode. That's what I'm talking. But if you want to know what I think of Canelo, I think Canelo, he's not trying his hardest to get this fight because when it came to Billy Joe Saunders, he made it easy. Callum Smith, that was easy made as well. But when it comes to the great fighters, the slick fighters, for some reason, Canelo likes to put an obstacle on the road. Why can't he just basically like agree to it? They offered 40 million. Why does he have to say like, oh, but if a Plant gets injured, then and if I fight against a bum, then I still expect the 40 million. Come on, you can't be getting paid 40 million after that. What do you? Am I wrong or am I right, Mitchie?
I'm gonna body that subject, so I'm gonna let you talk to Guido first before I jump in because I've already explained this on that's exactly why I'm talking about this today.
So listen, I don't hate. Listen, I don't hate.
I'm gonna give you a detailed explanation about how you're wrong with that comment.
I don't hate Canelo Alvarez. Okay, I think Alvarez is a good fighter. You know, I mean, some people they want to go with this narrative saying, "Oh, we hate Canelo Alvarez." No, we don't hate Canelo Alvarez. It's just the way he moves. The way he moves
Yeah,
is like we're not really.
Who's we?
Say again. The LDBC.
Who is we?
I'm talking for the LDBC. So basically, like we don't hate Canelo Alvarez. We just call out the bullshit. He's basically moving quite smart.
Whoa, hold on. What bullshit you telling me? Because Canelo want to become undisputed. He wants to become the first Mexican undisputed. So what bullshit?
Then make the fight. Guess what? Guess who's gonna fight? I can bet you any money. Listen, I can bet you.
They don't want to make that fight happen. PBC don't want to make that fight happen, bro.
He's gonna fight. Okay, I'm gonna tell you now who's gonna fight next. He's
about to move up and weight fight. Better be a Bivol.
No.
He's not. Fight. Come on, man.
Hear me out, Guido. I don't think he's gonna fight Bivol, Dimitrov Bivol. Okay, I know Eddie Hearn mentioned his name, but I know exactly who Canelo is gonna fight. Canelo is gonna fight John Ryder. You heard it from me first. Mo Boxing said it. He's gonna fight Jack.
Why would he fight John Ryder?
He will fight John Ryder. I know for a fact.
No, why would he fight John Ryder?
He's gonna be fighting John Ryder.
Who is John Ryder, and why would he fight him?
Because that's the route that they go into. He's gonna fight John Ryder. He's not gonna fight Dimitrios Bivol. That's not gonna happen. It's just flirtation, bro. I'm telling you now. He's gonna.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on, real quick. Let me just ask a simple question. Let's just say this fight with Plant doesn't happen. Who actually loses more, Plant or Canelo?
I think neither loses it at the end of the day. I think if anyone, obviously Canelo's not going to get his way to be undisputed, but I don't think neither is going to lose it. because the money that Plant was going to get offered wasn't going to be that a lot anyway, because he asked for 10 million. Canelo doesn't want to pay the 10 million. He doesn't want to offer the 10 million.
That's not the facts that we're getting. That's not the facts we're getting. So I don't know where you're getting.
Listen, I'm not here to argue with you guys. All I know is he's going to fight John Ryder. He's not going to fight Plant. They can make this fight easy, but they don't want to do that because they want to make it difficult. They want to be difficult about it. Canelo Alvarez wants to get his way.
Do you have proof of that fight with John Ryder? You have some proof of it?
Yes. Yes, because you know how I know. You know how I know. Call me Mo Boxing on it, because my name is Mo Boxing on here. Listen, let me tell you something here. If you
Mamon boxing, and Mamon.
See what I mean? That's all, the insults is flying around. Okay, all right.
What is pre-smoke though, yo? P, I know you've been going for a minute. Please, on a pre-smoke.
You coming at me? I'm gonna come at you, bro.
Nah. Wait. Guido, I never called you out. Listen, I called you out of your name. I did not insult you, first of all.
You come over here defending fanboys, bro. You defend haters, bro.
Look, we're gonna talk about relationships here. Then I'm gonna move on because I have a point to make. So you can respond to what Troy said, Mo. If not, then and please don't make it so long-winded. But I'm gonna jump right back in because I haven't even given my perspective. I'll let you guys rock. And
Go do it. Say it.
Okay,
cool.
Do it. All right. So number one. Okay. You said a lot of shit about the Canelo cherry picking and all that. That's a whole different stuff. I'll jump on that if you need me to. But I think I've explained myself very clearly already. And this is not your average boxing channel. I'm not going to fall into any of those feints because I have everything at the top of my head when it comes to the timeline of events and what they meant. So unless you want to go down that path, let's just keep it to the PBC and what you were trying to say about that, about why Canelo, he should just take it, right? Well, he shouldn't just take it. My man came out with one of the, everything is always changing. When you come to with like a real business, I've worked for a Fortune 50 company and been a supervisor there. And the first thing they tell you is the only thing consistent is change. Okay. And that's with life itself, with business, with everything. And so what he did, he was just the first one in this era of COVID to have a new thought process to, hey, you know what? Damn, what about if they try to pull out? Like something that Teofimo, what happened with Teofimo, something like with the Fury fight happened, like what happened, am I going to lose my payday because of that? You know what I'm saying? So he threw a little clause in there. Why not? But the thing is that when he threw it out, all Al Heyman, instead of being like, what? As soon as it landed on his ears, what happened? Nah, fuck that shit, man. Nah, hell no. No, you're supposed to be like negotiating, man. You have no negotiation skills where you could have been like, hey, yeah, I saw what you said right here, man, in Article 4 over here. Yeah, man, we're not going to be able to oblige with that 40 million, but maybe we could work something out with between 20, 25. What do you think about that? Does that sound a little better? Okay, so let's talk about those stipulations. Like, do you feel like, what level opponent are you looking for? If we can't provide that, maybe we can still maintain the contract and put a clause that you still have to abide by this contract, but we'll release you during that time. So you could go ahead and have a fight with a different promoter and then come back to us immediately after to fulfill this contract. See what I'm saying? What's so hard about that? Do I need to work in Al Heyman's shoes to get this fight done? Because it's as simple as that. All right.
What's with the silence?
Moving along. It's all good. Moving along. So what?
They don't got the answer. That's what it is, bro. They know what's going on.
Boxing Logic United, brother. You welcome. What rep it? You're welcome to come up here. Anybody else in the chat too, man? I haven't seen a lot of you guys in a minute. You know what I mean? I know I've been doing interviews. Sometimes we do things, we get a little heartfelt conversations here. We're trying to do the right thing over here, though. We're trying to be organic with it. We're not just trying to clickbait and talk about a bunch of bullshit, just to get views. So we appreciate what we get, period. And so we're going to continue to do that. However, we're doing some pre-smoke, so you're more than welcome to pop up over here with that as well.
No, I'm not with that. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not with the free smoke stuff in it. You know what I mean? I'm a grown man. I've done my time with the free smoke. You know the whole experience, Glenn. I'm not with that shit no more. I'm serious.
I'm glad you got out of it though. Because you told me, you told them, and you didn't even know I was there in the background. I was watching one of their shows, and you said, "Man, you know what? I'm done. I'm not trying to fuck."
They're racist, man. They became like they used to talk boxing, and sometimes it used to be a bit. It used to be a bit fun, but when they start becoming racist, I was out of there,
Yeah,
man.
I heard you when you told them, hey, listen, you know what? I'm not with this anymore, man. It's a new year. It was like months ago, bro. Like almost 6 months ago. You were like, hey, it's a new year. I don't want to do this no more. Like I don't got beef with nobody and this and that. And you fell off the map for a long time. So I'm glad.
Yeah, because you know what? It was fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously talking boxing, sometimes freestyling and stuff like that. But when it came to the bullshit, the Hitler stuff and the racism and the monkey emojis and all that sort of stuff, nah, I'm not with that shit, man. I'm not with that shit. And I didn't come here to go out at Guido. Guido, at the end of the day, he's always defensive. You are who you are, innit? You know what I mean? I can't change you. You know what I mean? But Canelo Alvarez,
I'm
man,
surprised
come on,
you
man.
came here. I haven't seen you in months. I don't know where you've been. You know.
Canelo
I'm
Alvarez, listen,
surprised you
Canelo
came here.
Alvarez, Tio, that's another guy as well. Teofimo Lopez, man. Tio, come on, man. How is he gonna say he's got COVID and travel to Italy? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
So that's
what happened to the takeover? What happened to the takeover?
But hold on, but Mo, if he didn't, right, then he got away with it, and this is what Canelo's trying to avoid. You see what I'm saying? So that was my point. But yo, rep it. Welcome to the building. I don't know if you've ever spoken to us on this platform before, but what rep it? The floor is yours, man.
What's up, man?
Saludo, man.
Hey, ¿qué pasa, Will? I heard you calling this guy Mamon. That was funny, man. Yeah, man. I haven't talked on this platform, but I obviously go through and click through. I see all the interviews you and Troy do, which are amazing. You guys are doing something that no one on YouTube is doing. You guys are helping the ex-boxers. You guys are interviewing, giving props to ex-boxers, trainers. I do peep the interviews. I do like it. I do put my thumbs up every time I see that. So everybody else should do the same. Even if you guys aren't gonna view the whole video, put a thumbs up so you can go through the analytics, man. That's what I gotta say about that. But in regards to the Plant, what were you guys saying? That Plant, you're saying that Canelo's ducking Plant or something like that? Mo Boxing?
No, I did. Listen, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes.
Listen. I didn't say he's ducking. I said he's making it difficult to make the fight. He's putting obstacles on the road. You know what I mean?
What are the obstacles?
Why does he make it so easy when it comes to like Callum Smith? You know, let's call them the UK bums. Let's face it. Billy Joe Saunders, you know, he never had a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. But when it comes to the slick American fighters, you know what I mean? Caleb Plant, even David Benavidez. Why not fight the guy? He literally got his WBC belt.
I'm glad you asked that.
Alvarez doesn't deserve that belt. Let's be honest.
Let me ask you a question, right? Plant is signed to the same people as David Benavidez. Why hasn't Plant fought him? Easy fight to make. They're on the same side of the street and they're in the same weight class. So why
is the problem? You're now changing the whole goalpost. We're talking about Canelo Alvarez. Why talk about somebody else fighting somebody else?
We're talking about Plant and Alvarez. So it's a simple question. Why hasn't Plant fought him?
Again,
because listen, hold on a second now. Hold on, because Plant. No, because Plant's words were that we gave him the Latino market, meaning Alvarez. Well, since you have the Latino market already, why don't you just use that same thing and give it to David Alvarez and fight him? Why? Because as he stated when he got in touch with ESPN, he said that we gave him, that market. I don't know how they gave him his own market, but why don't you go ahead and break that down for us? Because you have all the answers. You seem to have all the answers.
All right. The reason why they didn't make that fight, obviously, we know boxing is business, okay? Obviously, Canelo, he brings something to the table. So basically, obviously, Plant wants to fight Canelo. Right now, David Benavidez against Caleb Plant, it doesn't make no sense. You know what I mean? Boxing-wise, yes. But when it comes to business, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's not worth it in terms of money-wise. So, obviously, you guys know, like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to talk to you guys like babies and stuff like that. That's why Canelo, obviously, he brings the money to the table. But he's being difficult. But when it comes to other guys, you know what I mean, the easy opponents, he makes the fight quite easy. We know what's going on.
How is Plant difficult to Alvarez? I'm just curious, what makes him such a difficult fight? Who's he defeated that
he's
makes
slick.
him so difficult?
It's gonna be difficult. He's got.
Who is he
Here we
defeated?
go again. Who has he? Who
Who's
has
he
he beat?
defeated?
Here we
Yeah.
go again. Here we go again. Who has he beat? This is like I'm not talking about like Glenn, but I'm talking about most of the people. The Wilder haters. You're a Wilder hater, right?
We are talking about Canelo and Plant.
No,
Wow,
but you
hey,
are.
So
no,
I
but
said,
you're a BBC.
what makes him so
You're-
difficult?
you're-
What makes Plant so difficult?
What makes him so difficult? His skill. Have you not watched him fight? Don't you watch boxing?
Who has he fought that he's showcased?
It's not about
who's he fought that we would know?
It's his skill. Now you want to talk about
Oh
who
my
has he
God.
fought?
Brother,
This is your favorite
Okay, hold on a
question. Who has he
second.
fought?
Okay,
Come
hold on a
let's
second.
Move on.
No. Why is it different now when it comes to Plant? But with Crawford is like, no, he don't have nobody on his resume at 147. But Plant, it comes down to skill. Why is it different? Why is it different?
The Crawford fight will happen. Aerosmith will fight Crawford.
Okay.
They will
You want to
fight.
jump in here? Anybody else? Anybody else?
Let me get in.
They will fight.
Let's rep it. Well, just out of history, the history of two fighters, right? Canelo's been fighting for a long time. Obviously, he's been fighting top competition since he was. We'll just give it a light thing. We'll say since he was 23, right? He's been fighting. If you want to say the first top competition was Mayweather that he fought, right? So he's been making every fight with tough opponents, right? On the other hand, Caleb Plant has been ducking Benavidez, has been ducking many other fighters in the PBC. Charlo himself, right? They might make the Charlo fight, but I doubt that fight's gonna happen. So when you see the two sides, and by the way, Benavidez called out Plant for ducking. So when you see the two sides, you see one guy's a ducker and one guy doesn't have a history of ducking.
Oh my days! Canelo Alvarez doesn't have no history of ducking.
Check this out.
More boxing.
You're smoking crack, bro.
Check this out. Plant does not have is not even in the top. I would say not even in the top 7 or 8 middleweights, or you know what, the top 7 or 8 168 pounders.
He's a champion, isn't he?
Hey, IBF champion. Go look at the rankings in the IBF. You won't recognize any of the top 12 in there.
Hey, hold up 1 second. I gotta run the restroom. Troy, hold it down. Guido, hold it down. But look, before
I got
that,
you.
I want to ask Mo a question.
Hold on. I want to give a shout out to Tony Boswell for the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. You're always supporting. And then also I forgot to give a shout out to Punch from Monday because he sent it after the stream. So super chat from Punch on Monday. So appreciate everybody with their support. Go ahead, continue, fellas. I'll be right back.
The problem that we are not gonna agree is because obviously you guys are on one side, I'm on one side. This is the problem with boxing right now, because you guys are so stuck with Canelo Alvarez, the Latino fighters, that we're not gonna agree on anything. This is a waste of time, and this is a waste of my time.
Let me ask you a question. Let's
just be honest with each other. Canelo Alvarez, since he became big, he doesn't want to take risk. Yes, he has taken the risk when he was coming up. That's not denying it.
Who has a better resume than him from 160 to 168 to 175?
He's trying to go up and weight. 175.
Mo, you just brought up race, man. We weren't even talking about race.
It's facts though. It's facts. I don't sugarcoat. I call it how
American citizen, man. You know what I'm saying? You call Troy Graham a Latino. Exactly, man. It's look at it.
Yeah, go on, Guido. What was he saying?
90% of the population believes.
No, go ahead.
Go on, Guido. My bad.
No, what I was gonna ask Mo. So you saying Beverly's not a threatening fighter for Canelo to move up weight 175? You don't think he's
not gonna fight? He's not gonna fight Pivot. He's not fighting Pivot.
You say he wants him. You say he want to go up and weight and fight Beterbiev and Berville. Come on, man.
And anyway, matter
of fact,
let me tell you
that fight is more dangerous than Plant. Let me tell you something. More dangerous than Plant. So
let me tell you something. Yeah, it's dangerous. I agree, but listen,
I don't want to hear
no. Wait. You lower your tone.
Canelo doesn't want to fight them.
Listen, I'm not.
Out of your mind, bro.
Listen, lower your tone, because we're not.
Both of y'all can't talk at once, man. Both of y'all can't talk at once. So go.
Okay, let me say quickly
No,
one
let
thing.
him talk.
Yeah?
Let him talk. I want to hear what he got.
Okay, listen. At the end of the day, I'm not here for war and stuff like that. Okay, this trolling shit, like, it has to stop a little bit. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is he's not gonna fight Bivol. And if he does fight Bivol, it's not gonna be at 175. It's gonna be at 168. I remember Bivol saying last year he's gonna go down to 168. So if that fight does happen, it's gonna be at 168. We don't know what it's gonna like. What's gonna be like. You know what I mean? At 168, can Canelo go up at 175 and fight Bivol? The question remains, but I don't think that's gonna happen. That's why I said
How do you know
he's
that's
gonna
at
be fight. He's gonna
168?
He's gonna fight John Ryder.
How do you know
telling
it's at
you now.
168?
Because Bivol already said I'm gonna go down to 168, and Bivol is with the zone. So that fight, yeah, they can easily make that fight. But why not make the Andrade fight? Andrade literally insulted Canelo
He's at
Alvarez.
160, right?
Okay, why don't he say, look, fuck it, let's make the fight then. Let's get it. Why don't Canelo have that energy? The guy literally
Is he at
confronted
160?
him, yeah, Andrade.
Is he at
And
160?
he's at 160, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, exactly.
Andrade said, I don't mind fighting him. So forget about the weight class. Andrade is giving all the mouth. You know, why not make that
Hold
fight?
on a second for me, Mo.
Let's forget
Mo
plans then.
Boxing.
If you guys want to move the goalposts,
Mo.
let's
Right.
move
But hold on a second for me, Mo. Mo, can you just hold on a second? You just said about a split second ago that, you know, Bivol coming down in weight is wrong, and then you flipped it and said, you know, Alvarez is afraid of Andrade. All he has to do is go down to 160. So how is it wrong for Bivol to come down to 160, and then it's wrong for wrong for Alvarez for not fighting a 160 pounder? Why don't you break that down for me, brother?
Listen, they can meet each other at catch weight. Maybe Andrade wants to go to 168. Who knows? But all I'm saying is, if they can make the fight happen, if they can agree on something, because right now Andrade wants Canelo back. You guys seen it. Like, you guys can't pretend that you haven't seen all these clips.
Mo, do you think Canelo's stupid enough to say, I'm gonna fight Bivol at 168 and risk just losing for the hell of it instead of fighting Bivol for his bout at 175? You gotta be a retarded person to think someone's gonna not fight for a bout.
Here comes the insult. Somebody just said you bring the race card. Now I'm getting called retarded. See, I knew you guys couldn't help yourself. You guys cannot help yourself. But look, Canelo, you guys listen. Listen, I already stated earlier. No matter what I say, no matter what you say,
I just went to the bathroom and you pulled the race card.
Listen, you're gonna defend.
I just want to show Mo my picture. That's all. I just want to show Mo my face real quick.
I'm looking at your picture. Okay. I'm looking at Troy. I'm looking at your picture. Okay. I'm looking at Troy. I don't think Troy's pulling the race card on you, brother.
Okay, listen. No. The guy, the what's his name? I can't see your name because my screen's kind of small. You know, the guy with the white avatar. You know what I mean? He was saying, like,
your screen's kind of small. That sounds personal, man.
He's calling me a retarded. That's what he just said. He's calling me a retard. So basically, what's worse, me saying Latinos.
Call you a retard. It's free smoke, man. Stop. Come on, man. You've been
listen.
You've been gone this long.
I didn't call you a retard. I said the thought of somebody saying that Canelo's gonna fight at 168 for nothing, rather than go up to 175 and fight Bivol for the belt and risk losing or winning to win the belt, is retarded, because only a person that's stupid would not fight for the belt itself. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't personally insult you. I said the thought of someone not fighting for a belt is retarded, right? So just think about that. Canelo is not going to fight at 168 versus Bivol because you will not get the belt at 168 if he fights him.
I'm telling you now, if that fight happens, listen, Bivol, yeah, he's been a champion for a while now. Why is he not unified with Beterbiev? Why is he not unified with Beterbiev? See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why I know that, you know, Bivol is going to go down to 168. I'm not even convinced that fight is going to be made. I believe that fight is a bit too early now. They're going to probably fight later on in the year. I think he's going to fight John Ryder. I'm going to keep saying John Ryder. Canelo Alvarez is going to fight or UK bum John Ryder. He trust and believe what I'm saying right now.
Wait. But why you disrespecting the UK fighter like that, bro?
I'm
Callum Smith ain't no bum.
I'm from the UK, right?
Don't forget Callum Smith is #1 on 168.
Callum Smith
forget about that.
Listen, let's be honest. Callum Smith is another UK bum.
Don't call him a bum. Nah, he's undefeated.
Wait.
How you a bum and you undefeated and the world champion? That don't make sense to me, bro. That
Okay,
shit don't
Troy,
make sense.
Troy was saying
So
earlier.
make it
Troy was
sense
saying
right
ear-
now. Because
okay,
that's not making
Troy-
no sense, right? What's
okay,
that's coming out
listen,
of your mouth.
okay, I'm gonna make sense
And
out of
Billy
it.
Joe
Let me.
Saunders was another fighter. It was undefeated. So don't call him
Okay,
a
wait.
bum either.
Okay,
You
wait.
know what I mean?
Earlier,
So you tripping right now.
Troy.
I'm not letting you come with that
wait.
bullshit right now.
Earlier,
You
Troy.
tripping, bro. You
Okay,
disrespecting
earlier.
the UK fighter, bro.
Okay,
Fuck
listen.
outta here, bro.
Earlier. Listen to me. Earlier, Troy said, yeah. Troy said, who has planned fought? Didn't Troy say that? So now I'm saying, who did Callum Smith fight? You know what I mean? Let's keep the same energy, guys. Let's keep the same energy. Let's not just go one side.
He was a super
No.
series champion. He was a
Okay,
super
but-
series champion, and also
Yeah, but
he
who
was
has
a
he
magazine
beat
champion.
though? Who has he beat?
He was the ring
George
magazine
Groves? Are you gonna mention
champion.
George Groves? You gonna mention George
He's
Groves
gonna-
to me?
Look at right now, you're upping somebody who's an IBF champion, which is Plant, who doesn't have
Who
shit
has
on
he
his
beat?
resume.
Who
But you're
has he
shitting
beat?
on someone who is a ring magazine champion.
Who has
That
Callum
doesn't make
Smith
any
beat?
sense, son.
Listen, I knew Callum Smith was gonna lose that fight. He was gonna lose that fight, and you guys knew that as well. That was one-sided fight before they even fought. So let's keep the same energy, man. You guys want to say who has Caleb
Nah,
Plant
you
fight?
gotta keep the
All
same
this type
energy.
of stuff.
You gotta
You know
keep
what
the
I mean?
same energy.
And what
You're
about
not
listen?
being
What about
honest.
Billy Joe? Okay, what about Billy Joe
You're not
Saunders?
being
Who has
honest out here,
who
bro.
has listen?
gotta
Who has
keep
Billy
Hold
Joe
on a
Saunders
second.
for?
Hold on
Who
a
has Billy
second.
Joe Saunders for? He hasn't fought fuck all as well.
Hold on,
Let's be honest with
because
each
you
other.
jumping names. Let me give you an answer to the first question about Callan Smith. You mentioned George Groves. He beat
Yeah.
him. He meant and
Who's
John.
George
I'm
Groves,
sorry. You
though? A
mentioned
loser.
John Ryder.
George
You
Groves is a
mentioned
loser.
John Ryder, right? He beat him. He beat George Groves. Now, can you please tell us who Plant is beating?
That was a
Can you
robbery.
please
Actually.
tell us
John
who?
Ryder.
Can you
John
please
Ryder,
tell us who
listen,
Plant is beating?
John Ryder, that was a robbery against Callum Smith. Everybody
That
knew
was a
that John Ryder
KO in
beat
the
Callum Smith.
seventh round. That was a KO in the seventh round.
No, that wasn't the fight. The fight went on points. See, that's why I know you're not a boxing fan.
I'm
Troy.
right here.
Troy
It
is
says
not a
it
boxing
right
fan.
here. KO, seventh round. George
Wait,
Groves.
John Ryder. He never knocked out
I'm
John
sorry.
Ryder.
You're talking about John Ryder.
I'm talking
sorry.
about John
sorry.
Ryder,
Now,
yeah.
okay,
Yes.
good. Listen.
Oh, you're looking at boxing.
Why don't
You're
you
looking at
tell us?
boxing. No, I'm not. I can't
Why
be
don't
having
you
a
tell us
conversation
who
with you.
Colin Plant?
No.
Why don't you tell us who Plant is beating?
Nah. Oh, Major
Why
Key.
don't you tell us who Plant is beating?
Major Key. Is Major Key there?
Of course he is.
Listen,
What's going on?
Major Key. Troy. No offense to Troy. I know he's your partner. I know he's bringing a lot of
Stop
legends
snitching,
to
man.
your platform. But unfortunately, when it comes to boxing talk, he just said that Callum Smith knocked out John Ryder.
That
He's
was a
looking at box
mistake.
rank,
That was
and he got
George
the name-
Groves.
no,
But you're trying
because he's looking
but
at
you're
box
trying to
rank.
sidestep the
Hold on,
question,
hold on,
brother.
hold on.
You're trying to sidestep the
He's
question
looking.
now.
No. Listen.
First and foremost, no. Listen. You listen to me. It's my platform. So first and foremost, right? I'm letting y'all chop it up, right? So here's what you got to remember, right? Nobody forgot about all the spin moves you used to do, all the bullshit you used to talk back in the day. So you're like you're catching right back up to speed with it because what you're doing is diverting, and everybody here is aware of it. Nobody's stupid. Everybody's aware of the fact that you're not answering the right questions because you want to divert it, but then ask the same questions in a flip way, right? Nobody's stupid. Everybody's stupid.
I'm telling you, man doesn't watch boxing.
You're trying to convince yourself, not anybody else.
He's looking at box track right now, man.
Right? So I'm not done speaking. So what I'm trying to say is, so for example, they ask you legitimate questions. So who, right, has Caleb Plant beat? Because I'm pretty sure that for every person that you feel like was somewhat adversarial, I can name a better name of Canelo. So when you're talking about A side and talking about this and this and that, bro, there's not even a debate here, bro. There's not even a like, unless you really believe some of the bullshit propaganda on the internet from some channels that are spinning this, right? Unless you believe that and you don't have a mind of your own to interpret what's reality, right? I don't understand how you're here on a different platform that doesn't push that false narrative and trying to communicate to us that that's real. That's impossible. That's why I'm letting everybody else chop it up.
Are you finished? I want to say something quickly. All right. Yeah. Okay, listen. With all respect, yeah. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Did anyone tell you? Have you heard on the internet that Canelo Alvarez is going to be fighting John Ryder? Yes or no?
Bro,
what?
I'm the first person to say on the whole internet that John Ryder is going to be fighting Canelo Alvarez on the Mexican Independence Day.
It's something you can't prove.
I'll tell you what, man.
You can't prove it.
If you could email me the contract, bro, I'll post it up right now.
Listen. I don't have to give away a lot of stuff. Just stay tuned.
But you don't got that type of
Just stay tuned, man.
Oh,
Just stay tuned.
Come on,
Listen,
man.
look.
Get out of here, bro.
I'll give
listen,
you guys some gems, man. Listen.
Yeah.
I want to end. Listen, I want to end in a good note. I didn't come. Listen.
No boxing.
no sabe nada de Marcelo.
Hold on a second.
No sabe nada de Marcelo.
Wait. I got to run, but listen, Major Key boxing.
Go take care of this, man. This is my light work, lady. Go ahead and take care of this.
Major Key, see you later. Yeah, I'm gonna see you.
Why are you going, Mo? Yeah, why are you going? Boy,
You already know.
Boy,
You already know.
fucking bye. That guy is fucking just a straight up fucking shit stirrer all day long. Where the fuck are you? Come back on, Mo. British to British. You took all this crud. Like, and here, I'm just gonna let you know your people get fucking rinsed from day to dawn and dawn back to day. Don't let him come on here, Major Key. Salute to everyone on the panel, by the way. Don't let him come on here with his fucking trolling, stupid, part-time LDBC shit and think he's rough. You're not rough, Mo. I know who you are, fam. I know how you roll over here. I'm from London. I know what happens to you. You get fucked up.
And Lady Chan,
Nice to see you two, Lady Chan.
This motherfucker was disrespecting your fighters. Like, he called y'all bums. He called Talisman a bum and Billy Joe Sander a bum. That's crazy.
You know
delusional, pájaro. Tú eres un pájaro, el mamón. That's his new name, el mamón.
Pendejos. He's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. Don't worry about him. Mo, where is he? Is he in the chat? Come back on, Mo.
Yeah, no, he's not in the background. I don't know why he bounced off like that because, once I told him that, hey, we're not buying it, you know what I mean? Then you popped up and then he just left. I don't know what you did to him. You know, did you smoke him before or something?
Never smoked him before. I've always seen him on the panel chatting shit.
I mean, I've spoken to him, but I think he started realizing that he wasn't, that what he was saying, maybe he was trying to convince himself, but it wasn't convincing anybody else.
He's a fool. He's a fool. Yeah. What's he saying? So everyone's bums that Canelo's
so you guys go ahead and chop it up real quick. Catch her up to speed real quick. I'm gonna put it on the light out here because it's starting to get dark out here.
Yeah. Tell me, what was he saying, guys? Them people just hate Canelo. Like, they just hate Canelo for no reason.
Yeah, this is what rep it. Yeah, it's just common shit, right? I like people who are adversarial or say things. I don't really care either way, right? But the thing is, when people start caping for somebody, it's like I've been saying before, right? I don't understand when people are caping for Plant. Like, it makes no sense, especially if you hate Canelo, right? If you hate Canelo, you got to figure out someone to ride with who has the chance to beat Canelo, right? Some people say that's Benavidez. Some people say that's Bivol, Better Beef. Some people say it's even another higher weight division, right? But it doesn't make any sense for someone to start caping for a person that has I don't really see a chance of Plant even winning or anything. It's insane, right? I rate him lower than Billy Joe Saunders. I rate him lower than Callum Smith and Gongora, than Morrell, than Chavez Jr. Yeah, I said it. That's how much of a shit that I think it is. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
No, I agree. I don't know why everyone they're only caping for Caleb Plant because they're fucking PBC fanboys. That's all it is. They're a fan of fucking promotional companies. It's fucking pathetic.
Lady, one of the things I also think, and I'll let you keep cooking since you just jumped on the panel. But one of the things to add on to that, I also think is because he's the last person, because they were capping like, Callum Smith, he ain't nobody. He was ranked #1 by everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then it went to Billy Joe Saunders, right? For the next belt. They were like, Callum wasn't that tough. Billy Joe was really like the toughest one because his style, this and this and that. Then he broke his face. And then it was Caleb Plant. So now they have to make some kind of excuse that, he's the best. But when he beats him, what's going to happen? That's exactly why they don't want to put him against him, because they already know he's going to whoop his ass, man.
This is what I'm saying. This is with all of those fights that you just said. Like, I'm from the UK. I said that Canelo is going to demolish fucking Billy Joe Saunders. I've got commentaries on it. I got loads of backlash from the UK people. But you're from the UK. Listen, it doesn't matter where you're from, You have to just fucking tell the truth. If you think a fighter can beat another fighter, then that's what you say. People just don't like Canelo. Canelo's number one on my pound for pound list, Bud's number two, right? Canelo's not my favorite fighter, but he's number one on my pound for pound. I acknowledge all of his accolades. Like, people try to say, oh, his resume, the dude's like 57-1 and 1 or 57-1-2. Like, how can he's fought Hall of Famers? So why are people so, do you know what? They just want Canelo to lose. I don't understand. You know what it is? Because some of it is to do with fucking racism. Point blank fucking period. And Troy, you've heard me say this, and I stand on my square everywhere I say it. People just don't like that he's Mexican. Yeah, and don't get it twisted, because it's racism I've seen it on all sides, blacks, whites, Latinos. I'm black and I'm Latina. So like I see it from both sides, but it's fucking racism when it comes to Canelo. He's not the face of boxing because he's a white Mexican. It doesn't fit their narrative. They want the face of boxing to be a black American. Anthony Joshua is not a cash cow with Canelo because he's black, but he's from the UK. It's just fucking ridiculous. We're just here to do fucking boxing. That's all we're here for. And people take it so deep that they're out to make a personal vendetta against someone that's a fucking great fucking future Hall of Famer just because he's white and he's Mexican and they don't like Mexicans. That's it.
Yeah, I'll say this, right? I even think if you're just talking about the PBC side of this thing or what's happening with that, yeah. I even think they did a trick on Chris Eubanks, right? Chris Eubanks Jr., they took him to PBC. They told him, hey, we're going to have you fight Charlo, the big Charlo, or Plant, right?
Yeah.
Then what they did is they sat his ass out. That's why he left that. That's why he left that the PBC, right? And he's back. He signed with a British promotional company again, right? So yeah. I even rate Chris Eubanks Jr. higher than Plant by a margin, a little bit of a margin.
Just by a margin. Me too. Just by a margin. It's not by a great, but just by a margin. Look at Canelo's resume. How are these people saying that Canelo is ducking Plant? Canelo had the chance to just do the franchise shit and do the Teofimo Lopez and be franchise undisputed like that. But he said, no, I don't want to do it like that. I want to be undisputed correctly. So it's acknowledged by all of the four major sanctioning bodies. So do you think he gets to the last Infinity Stone to duck Caleb Plant? Are people fucking that deluded?
Well, you just have to look in the comment section of any type of video in regards to any of this type of subject. And this has been happening leading up to months of this fight, right? If you look at the video, you even see people literally saying, Al Heyman, don't give him shit. What do you call him? Make him, there's a word for it. Make him eat shit, in a sense. Like, make him, don't give him the belt, whatever you can. Don't even give him the fight. Fuck him. Don't give him undisputed. It's not even about that. That's the whole point. I've seen this in comment section after comment section after comment section. And now that shit actually happens, people are saying, hey, we wanted to see the fight. It's freaking weird. It's weird. Those same people were saying, Al Heyman, please do not give Canelo the chance to get the belt. Just make him eat shit, in a sense. Now they're saying, oh, we want to see undisputed, which is the fakest shit ever, right? Anybody saying that they want to see, that they're so like obsessed with seeing undisputed, and that's a Canelo hater, you're a retard, because you really don't want to see undisputed. You know you hate the man. Let's stop bullshitting. Let's stop beating around the bush and start saying, oh yeah, Canelo needs to fucking sign so we can see undisputed. You're fucking lying. It's fucking bullshit. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that similar pattern.
Yeah, it's the same thing with these guys, man. The same narrative stories. Every day they wake up with the same bullshit, you know? The same old shit, you know? They racist, man. I keep trying to tell you, these guys are racist. It is what it is, bro. There's nothing we can change them. They're gonna always lie. Whatever Canelo could be Biva or Butterby, they're gonna say it was a cherry pick. They say, oh, these guys was washed up. So it's gonna be the same old story. I don't expect them to change anyway.
Yeah, he can't win no matter what he does. Go to 175, which he already has done before. Took a belt from Kovalev. Oh, Kovalev wasn't the same person when he got the belt of Kovalev. At the end of the day, Kovalev was still coming off of a win. So he did it. He didn't have to go to 175. They just want to see him beat. Canelo will wipe out 175 and then they'll go, no, he has to go to Cruiser now and do like, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's just hate at this point. It's hate.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like a like I was saying before, it's masochism. It's a weird form of masochism because it's like you've seen those fucking weirdos who love getting hit and shit and they get aroused by getting like slapped around and all that type of shit. That's the type of fucking that's the type of energy I see from these people, right? They literally know that Caleb Plant's gonna get knocked the fuck out, but they want to see the fight so they can massacre themselves or some weird shit like this, right?
Yeah.
It's hella weird. It's super weird. Like, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't understand why these guys who hate Canelo literally, why don't you come up and start caping for someone who might beat his ass instead of caping for that man? Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that's how you know it's hate, because they're not even caping for someone that actually has a chance of beating Canelo. That's why you know it's clear. That's how you know they don't know anything about boxing. Who says, oh man, I need to watch this fucking Caleb Plant like fight? I definitely need to watch that. I need to. If I miss it, it's fucking a load of shit.
I'm gonna get my popcorn ready to watch this fucking 12 rounder that's supposed just gonna be running around doing like Eminem or Vanilla Ice stance moves and shit, like not even throwing one jabs and shit. It's just insanity, man.
Yeah,
it's insanity. But this is the world we live in, right? I've also, I don't know if you heard this, Guido. You've heard people going in on your guy. I don't know if he's your guy, but he's my guy, Edgar Berlanga.
Oh yeah, they oh, of course I did. They you know why they were going in on him? Because when they did the sparring when Edgar Berlanga was doing the sparring with what's his name, Everson Lubin, and they said he got exposed in sparring. Oh my lord, he's a bomb and this and that. These guys are they do it all the time, bro. These guys are
you notice something about that. I don't want to go in on Lubin, but if Lubin's really about that and releasing film like that, why don't they go spar again, or why don't they set up a fight for reals, right? Why doesn't Lubin go?
That was an old footage too. That was an old
Berlanga
video.
would knock his ass out. Berlanga would knock his ass out just seeing Lubin's.
I know, rep, and that was an old video. Just to let you know, these guys will fight anything, even with the Teofimo Lopez, when he was sparring on Gervonta Davis, when he was like 17 years old, right? 18 years old. They even said he got exposed. I mean, this was when he was 17.
They did the same shit with the. They did the same shit with the Canelo sparring video of Ronald Ellis, right? Like Canelo taught him to hit me and shit.
Oh man, these guys are crazy, bro.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
Totally.
Canelo's literally telling him to hit him and shit. It's insane.
And the new narrative again. Well, it's not new; it's old, but they keep trying to revive it. Oh, Canelo needs to fight Charlo, and that will make everything. Charlo is in 160. Do you think that Canelo needs to go back to 160 to fight fucking Charlo?
And Lady Sam, Charlo's not trying to go up anytime soon.
Widow, hold on one second. Yo, brother, I see you in the background. You're more than welcome to join, but I've never seen you before, so show your face in the background. You don't need to worry about me showing your face on the screen here, but once you show me your face, then I'll put you on. If you can't show your face, you're not welcome. Okay, there we go. Another dick pic, and then he left. See, that's exactly the way I got to check, you know?
That was Mo Boxing. That was Mo Boxing doing it, probably, bro.
Yeah, Mo Boxing. That's why he ran.
Maldito pájaro. Eres un pájaro. Maldito loco, coño.
Payasos.
Nah, but yeah, go ahead, man.
Well, my bad to cut y'all off. I just I wanted to let him know he had to show his face, because anybody that I don't know, they're gonna have to show their face. Period.
Yeah, man. That's some weirdo shit.
Yeah, because they want what they want to do. They want to shut down your channel. That happened to me the other day, twice.
Is that what happens? Is that what happens when you on the stream?
Yeah, because then they can report it. They can report it because of the content. They can report it on their end.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, I didn't even know that shit. That's crazy.
That's what they do.
They've been doing that kind of frequently, so yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, so it's probably people like Mo Boxing, because he's a fucking loser. And I know you're listening, Mo, you big fucking loser. That's why you had to run away from a girl.
Bro. I'll send a link if you come back, Mo. I'll send the link. She's going in on you.
Mo's running just like Plant is running.
She was sparring.
That's what Mo Boxing is doing, running like Plant.
Yeah.
She was sparring a couple of days ago with everybody on TBV, so I think she might be ready for you, Mo Boxing.
Bro, Mo Boxing's like.
Hey, Mo Boxing may have to talk to Heyman to see if he could get in the panel. He might need Heyman to tell him let me ask Al Heyman if I could go to a major kickboxing platform.
Yeah. Al Heyman don't even know he exists. That's the fucking mad thing about it.
Al Heyman's not even a real person.
I know.
He's fictitious.
Nah, he's a real person. He's just really controlled.
Nah,
He's
I
real.
think
Al
Heyman,
Heyman is real,
Al
bro.
Heyman might be the
Y'all
front
seen him
man for
before?
Jay Prince. That's what I think he is, bro. He's the front man for Jay
Well,
Prince.
bro, Major Keys, let me piggyback off that, right? People don't realize this, right? The affiliations that Al Heyman has, meaning some of the guys he has coordinating PBC, have ties to the Blue Rag Gang and the Red Rag Gang. I'm not saying the gang name, right? But it's a California gang. And these are 55-year-old men that used to belong to that gang, right? Matter of fact, one of the persons in the PBC, who's the top, probably second in command in the PBC, he knew the founder of the Blue Rag Gang. So this shit's wild, man. Shit's wild. There's corruption everywhere. No one's gonna say this shit, right? I've said it on my channel. I've said this shit about the Blue Rag Gang and the Red Rag Gang. There's corruption in boxing. People are never gonna get it out. You're never gonna fix the judging. If they do fix the judging, it's gonna be fixed for themselves to fix some more fights. So shit's wild, man.
And also, you know, before Al Heyman came over to boxing, he was sued by Beyonce, and Beyonce sued him and her dad for fraud because they was robbing Beyonce's money. That's a fact.
Of course. They Suge Knighted all of De La Hoya's fighters, right? They took Charlo, they took Wilder. De La Hoya didn't say shit because he's from East LA, right? He's from East LA. He's not gonna be snitching.
They even took
I'm just gonna roll with this shit.
They even took Vanilla Ice by mistake. Had to send him back and shit. Like, yo.
Exactly. Vanilla Ice. They had him hanging over the roof and shit.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, no boxing won't be coming back on. But anyway, they're just haters. We know what's what. Like this is a channel that has sanity. Big up Major Key Boxing because other channels.
And like I said, I've been saying this for a while too. This fight's gonna happen in December, the Plant versus Canelo fight, right? Because I already have a theory of why Plant is not taking the fight, and my theory is this, right? I've said this on other panels. I've said this on my channel. My theory is this, right? Plant had a fight in January, late January, right? You count the months from late January up to September. That's a 6 to 8 month. That's a 6 to 8 month time span, right? And in that time span. And in that time span of 6 to 8 months, that's usually the window for someone to test positive for an anabolic, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, right? Look at Caleb Plant when he's on the scale. He's too filled out for a man who's 6'1" at 6'1", 168. That's not natural. Yeah. And I'll say something else, right? In regards to this, right? The fight was supposedly going to happen in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, that's the only place where they test. That's the only commission that has tested recently for hair sample follicles. And in hair sample follicles, in 6 to 8 months, you will pop dirty for anabolics because the anabolics will stay in your system for 8 months at the top, right? So my whole thing is this: I'm suspicious because no one ever says that, right? But Plant belongs to a guru or a place called Snack, right? Which is owned by Victor Conte. Victor Conte himself was a guru of steroids, right? I've always brought this up. I brought this up on my channel too, right? Steroids and gurus are in the sport of boxing. People don't realize this, right? A lot of guys have private gurus, which delve in bodybuilding and sports science, right? And they give them nutrition, aka steroids and other things. Yeah, exactly. And the whole point is this, right? I can say that the fight's probably gonna happen in December because that's when the anabolics will get out of his system. But guess what? After the anabolics are out of his system, he's gonna go with the EPO. So that's just my theory on that. I want to hear what everybody else has to say about that.
Let me jump in real quick because a shout out to Black and Brown. He actually made a whole video about Snack and talking about Victor Conte and what was charges pressed to him and what he had to deal with. And then how he moved over into this, and they keep pushing the envelope when it comes to the limits of what you can take, right? And just so it's under the investigative line, okay, well, if it's not that much, then okay, they pass, all right. But they keep pushing those limits based on the whatever the new rules are.
Right.
So shout out to him for that. And you guys. But I remember also just to point out, and I'm not talking down about anybody, but I remember somebody was being skeptical about I think Freddie Roach having him on in his side, and then all of a sudden when Pacquiao fought Mayweather, he went over to Mayweather's corner. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah, for one fight.
Yeah, for one fight, exactly. And then all of a sudden we had intravenous, an IV that was illegal until 21 days after the fight. You know what I mean? That was automatically approved 21 days after the fight, but not before the fight. But yet the inflammatory injection for the shoulder for Pacquiao was not approved, right? So I just want to throw that out there. But go ahead, Lady Chan. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's I need to subscribe to. I didn't know you had a channel, Who Rep It. I didn't know you had a channel.
So there's something else, right? EPO, right? EPO shit. I've been around certain athletes. Obviously the advent MMA back in the day in early 2000s. I've been around guys taking all kinds of shit, right? So EPO itself is another one that people take, right? And this is one that people are taking. I say maybe 80% of the boxers, the elite ones, are on it. The ones that are on it, you can tell because they're the ones that are the 12-round fighters. They're the ones that are the ones running around. They're the ones that have that they're trying to get that stamina at the end, right? The EPO, what it does, it goes into your brain. It actually helps you train. It's almost like a hormone that's like an antidepressant in a sense too, right? So what it does is opens the blood cells throughout your body, and it helps you train. That's hence why guys like Lance Armstrong and Tour de France were using that, right? Because what it does is when your body's emaciated and you're at your lowest levels of body fat, and you're literally looking very, very, very skin and without body fat, your blood will still be flowing like you're a healthy individual. That's why it's such a powerful drug. And obviously it helps you in training because it gives you that motivation to train. And instead of training one time a day, you could train 2 times. And what does that do for the athlete? It does this. Instead of 1,000 reps, instead of 1,000 repetitions of hitting the bag, you can do 2,000. So what that 2,000 does is it makes your hand-eye coordination that much better than someone else who's only doing 1,000 reps of any type of exercise you're doing. So there's a lot of shit of this type of stuff that's going on in boxing. No one's saying it. It's just common shit. It's common knowledge for anybody who's even been to any arena or who has been in the arena of a training facility or any of this shit, right? It's weird that no one talks about it, right? Obviously in the UFC, they've already tried doing different things and stuff to stop it or to stymie it, but it's never going to stop because you know what I call this? It's called chemical warfare. Chemical warfare.
That's what it is. See, I'm learning something new because I didn't know about that specific thing, but it makes sense. I've got a friend that's a chemist. He tells me all different things of what fighters do, to have more endurance and to recover quicker. Because I even say that with Pacquiao, no disrespect to Pacquiao, I love him, but I've spoken to boxers off the record that are from the Pacquiao days, and they've said, look, that's he's using some kind of enhancement. Definitely.
Well, I'll say something else to this effect, right? I could keep on going on about performance enhancers. I'll just say something else, right? Right now, people are letting this shit pass, which is what I call stem cells, right? Everybody knows about them at this point, right? They're kind of mainstream in a sense. They say, hey, this gentleman's having problems with his knees, with his arms, with his shoulders, or some shit. Hey, just go to like Germany, go to Costa Rica, go to certain parts of. There's only a few places in the U.S., but you can go a place in the U.S. and get your stem cells in a certain place that will help you regenerate things, right? That's hypocritical. That's hypocritical too, because it still doesn't. They will still allow. I think VADA and other places will still allow you to do that shit. So theoretically, Plant can go with his brittle ass hands and go get stem cells in his hands and shit. And I think that's a performance enhancer. I think that's a performance enhancer, and that needs to be stopped too, because that shit is not natural. And obviously, if your natural body was not healing itself, that's a performance enhancer, because that was the whole point of steroids, right? Steroids, the point of steroids was it helps you recover faster.
Right.
So there's so much hypocrisy in this shit. It's not even funny.
What do you think about this? May be a bit left. What do you think about fighters that have broken their hands and then they've got like titanium rods put in it?
I've heard of that, right? I've heard of that. I think you're referring to Wilder, right? You're referring to Wilder.
For sure. Because before like his first operation on his hand before 2009, he weren't really on that shit. And if you notice, after that operation, he's got titanium metal rods in his hand, in his right hand. I think that helps you be able to knock people out.
Well, you would probably be right. It's hard to scientifically test it, but I know someone who has a iron or a transplanted elbow, right, or gotten like a knee, and when they need you, and when they need you, you feel it, right? It's their knees get cold or that area gets cold, right, and you can feel everything.
Bro, you guys are boxing historians, right?
No, I'm not.
Well, you guys heard of Jerry Coetzee, haven't you?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Jerry Coetzee had 27 operations in his right hand, and he had titanium screws put in there and titanium rods, and his opponents accused him of having loaded gloves, and they called him the bionic right hand. But anyway, you got to give this man a shout out. He had 27 operations, steel rods put in his hand, knocked out Michael Dokes, won the heavyweight championship of the world, and never had a loaded glove. But that's a little story about titanium in the hands.
Yeah.
And that's boxing fact. But you're talking about performance enhancing drugs. I have a big background in that, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that again.
Well, let's tell you what do you like feeding the fighter? What did you like feeding the fighter? Or if you have a background in performance enhancing drugs, what would you like feeding the fighter that would really rev them up? Because I have a whole list of shit that I know for a fact that they would take. Now, obviously, some of this shit is obviously off of I think they've already learned how to find it. Yeah. But back in the day, in the early 2000s, the halotestin was hell of a thing to use, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, I would never give him an oil-based drug because that can stay in your system for up to 2 years. There can be metabolites in there. Now, things like Deca, things like liquid Dianabol, those are all oil-based drugs. So, first of all, you don't want to give those to any athlete who's being tested like that. You want to give them something like Equipoise, water-based drugs.
Yeah,
that's very popular among boxers. And see how they test you is they do what they call a T&E test. It's a testosterone to estrogen ratio in your body, and if it's out of whack, then they'll look for the individual steroids. But basically, steroids, what they are is just synthetic testosterone. And you have to feed that synthetic testosterone massive amounts of protein for it to do anything. See, a lot of people don't have any idea what steroids do. They enhance different.
Blue Ghost. I'm 100% right in this because I know you know your shit too, right? You can see a fighter. You can see a fighter on the scale and you can kind of know what they're taking just by looking at them, right?
Not necessarily, man. In fact, a lot of times I've seen natural bodybuilders that were accused of taking steroids, and that's one of the biggest compliments you can give a natural bodybuilder. Yeah. So no, man. The individual drugs that they're taking for the gains they're making, they could be many variations. A lot of guys stack things where other steroids with anabolic steroids with androgenic steroids. I mean, there's all kind of stacks out there, and it's fine. Victor Conte. Now,
what do you think about SARMs? What do you think about SARMs?
Well, see, that's.
Mira.
Go ahead.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? ¿Habla español?
He's only 1.5. He don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. He's mad that I held him on my lap.
Oh, it's a boy. He's pretty. I thought it was a girl. You're pretty. No. You're gonna be in lots of problems.
Yeah, no. He got the blue eyes. Yeah, he's like a Gerber baby right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's cute. How old is he?
He's only 1.5 years. Yeah.
Wow. He's big for 1.5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. He's wearing size 3.
Wow. Because he speaks Spanish.
He doesn't even speak English yet. He's just 1.5.
Yeah, but you have to start speaking both.
I know. No. I talked to him in Spanish too a little bit, but right now, he's just barely saying words. He says stuff, and that he's saying something.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say it clearly. Yeah. He'll surprise you. He'll say something. You're like, did you just say that?
Yeah.
He did, but he just can't say it clearly.
Yeah.
So he's at that point right there.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, he just got home, so I had to put him on. My bad, man. This is free smoke. I'm being too emotional here.
We can't do the free smoke with the baby there. It turns us into mush.
This is what I was gonna tell you, right? I don't want to name names. I don't want to name names.
Obviously, who reps it? Because from my personal experience, I had back surgery, and they put me on like steroids, to take away the inflammation. But that shit makes you eat everything. So
what type was it? Do you remember the name brand of it or the type it was?
I don't know. It was in tablet form. I don't know.
Was it Anavar? Was it Anavar?
I don't know. No.
Well, you see, a lot of people don't really understand.
Dexamethasone.
Oh yeah, you see that steroid, Lady Di. That's what you. That's not an anabolic steroid.
No, I know it's different.
That's a corticosteroid.
Yeah, it's
that's made for healing, and if you use too much of that, it'll actually go catabolic and waste your bones and your muscles.
Yeah,
so, but it's not used for muscle building. There are two different classes of steroids.
Yeah.
So you have to the anabolic steroids are basically what we're talking about. That's
I know, but does it have the same effect as those steroids make you eat a lot? With anabolic, will you get a big appetite as well with anabolic steroids?
Yeah, the what they usually feed women or usually women, if it's a real anabolic steroid, is Anavar, right? That's what I
but does it give you an appetite like the steroids that I was on, even though it's a different type of steroid? Does it make your appetite enhance? Because I'm just saying
no.
How do they make weight? Okay, so it doesn't. It doesn't just cut down your BMI like that. You have like a low body mass index, like hardly any fat on you. Is that what the anabolics do?
Well, some do that. Some do that. Now you're talking diuretics. Things like Canelo was accused of taking, clenbuterol. Now that's not actually a steroid or performance enhancer. That's a fat burner, which spares lean muscle. So, there are so many different classifications. The steroids that you guys are mostly talking about, anabolic steroids, those are to give you an advantage in strength, in speed. They're cheating steroids. They're all cheating steroids, but the ones we're basically primarily talking about are the anabolic steroids. And there's, very, very limited medical use for those. They do use them in healing, but they're basically made for for abuse by athletes.
Yeah, that's the point, right? That's the point, right? People don't realize that a lot of doctors themselves don't even know much about anabolics because they've never experimented with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
here's the thing with steroids, though. They can't make you a better fighter, can they? Can they make you a better fighter?
Depends what type you take.
Yeah, they can make you punch harder.
How do they make you a better? How do they enhance your skill? How do they enhance your skill?
Let me go into that. Let me go into that. Blue goes. Let me go into that, right? So what it does is this. It's like I told Lady Chan about the EPO, which is also a performance enhancer, but it's in a different area, right? Mm-hmm. So what a steroid or something like that does, right? It increases your capability to train more, right? And in turn, what that does is this: if a fighter's natural and doing a 2-hour session, after that 2-hour session, say he did 1,000 reps, and we'll just say he threw 1,000 punches, right? 1,000 punches on a bag or 1,000 punches on and jump roping for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. We're just throwing regular numbers out there, right?
Yeah.
With those 1,000 punches, he's getting hand-eye coordination, right? Well, you put someone on steroids, all right? They do 2 gym sessions. That's 2,000 punches. That's adding to his eye coordination and muscle memory, while building muscle itself, right? And losing fat. So what a lot of people don't realize is this: it increases your chance of getting muscle memory and high eye coordination because you're doing double the reps. Not only is your strength increasing, your eye and your hand and your motor skills are increasing. That's what people don't realize about the use of anabolics.
No, but it seems like it just gives you more stamina. But if you don't have the skills in the first place, you can't become a better fighter.
You can have the skills and all that, but when you start doing more repetition of anything, your hand-eye coordination increases, everything increases. It just becomes a pile-on effect, as they say, right?
Right. It gives you more stamina, but it doesn't affect your skill level at all.
Yeah.
Well, it does affect your skill level because what I'm trying to tell you is this: you're getting more repetition, you're getting more reps to practice whatever you're doing, because it's giving you that extra time to train. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only science that if someone's doing something 2,000 times and practicing it 2,000 times, they're going to be better than someone who can only do it 1,000 times because they're natural.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I could pop with a bunch of
Somebody's got an echo in
steroids.
the background, man. If you
That's
could
me.
stop
That's me.
also.
Probably.
All right.
Yes, Troy, it buzzes through. Someone just DM'd me and said, they must be listening. They're like, how can you speak Spanish? They've just DM'd me. So salute to Hamlet Cruz. He must be watching.
That's
He's
what's
just
up. Shout out
DM'd
to
me.
Hamlet. Shout out to Hamlet.
Shout out to Hamlet.
And welcome back to Guido as well. You know what I mean? So
Where's
so go ahead,
Guido?
keep chopping it
Oh,
up.
Guido, you back?
Yeah, man, I had to get a phone call, you know.
Okay. Sorry.
What's
All
y'all
good,
talking
man.
about? What's y'all
I
talking about?
thought you left. I thought you'd gone to bed. No, we're just talking about the different steroids and can you tell by a fighter's weigh-in if the. I think there are some signs that you can. Some fighters have big.
Yes, there is. Yes,
heads,
there is.
bigger heads. Some have bigger calves. That are just like there are some tell signs. There are
the gyno on some of these guys that I've seen, right? Like, I don't want to name the fighters, right? I don't want to name the fighters because obviously I'm not gonna name them. But you can only tell, right? Gyno is when you got on your chest area. When your chest area is kind of pointy, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily need to be bitch tits, right? But it just means that your chest area is a little bit pointier than the normal, right?
Yeah, but do you know what gyno is?
Yeah, it's like when a man's got a bit.
Because the estrogen, it's because your body has to adapt because of the estrogen. So it starts giving more estrogen. That's why you start getting that the around the areola. That's why you start getting that inflammation or that increase of estrogen there, right? So that's what it is. It's because your body has to adapt. But that's a whole nother story, right? It's just a bunch of chemical warfare, like I was saying in boxing. Is something that no one talks about. Obviously, you can't name names because if you do name names, I'll just say this, right? The greatest UFC fighter I know for a fact was on something because I know who was supplying them, right? So it's what it is, right? So it's just what it is. You just got to look at every athlete that's fighting, and don't go in there with a innocent mind. Don't say, "Hey, my guy's clean. My guy's clean." No, he's not. They're all on something. That's what I got to say on all that.
So would you say that, because I keep hearing from the LDBC lot that AJ's on I'm on Instagram at Lady Shan, 2 ends, that AJ's on steroids, and I've never heard that before until like last week.
They can't prove anything, and they also said that they
say that about your. My bad. Go, Troy.
No, yeah, because they also said that he's so handsome that they want to date him or something. You know, didn't they say that too, Lady Shan?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, much.
Yeah. I don't know.
So let me say something. Let me say something about that. Right? So if someone's telling you that your fighter or your fighter that you like or whatever, or a fighter that you follow is on something, just point back 5 fingers and tell them your fighter's on something. Because realistically, it's like I said, at this point, you really have to suspect everybody of being on something. So there's nobody with a clear mind or a clear face. There's no one with the clean blood out there. I'm telling you that right now, especially the elite fighters. If anybody wants to take a look, just go look at certain old school fighters. That's why I always rate Mike Tyson's. In my opinion, I rate Mike Tyson's era of fighting as one of the toughest eras because all those guys were juiced to the gills. Period. They were juiced to the gills, all those guys that he was fighting, and around that time, they were all juiced to the gills. I'm just gonna say something.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
They were. They're not gonna admit it.
Listen, I got you, but I really want to get off this damn steroid conversation. Let's talk about Pacquiao and Spence. Let's talk about boxing. Sick of hearing about steroids. When is that Pacquiao Spence fight?
Yo, I think it's August 24th. I think it is.
Yeah, August 24th. Okay.
I want to this weekend, man. We didn't get Conor Ben, but we got Zucan versus Woods, and then we got also just so you guys know, what was his name? Joey Spencer. I've been a little high on Joey Spencer. I know a lot of people are not, but I think Joey Spencer is the real deal, man. I think at 154, you know what I'm saying? You have him, you have Fundora, right? And you have some people coming up that's going to give that division a little bit of problems. You know what I mean? Joey Spencer is definitely one of them. What do y'all think about that?
Sorry, sorry. You guys go on. I've just.
Yo, Bruce is like, I'm out of here. Bruce said after the anabolics, I'm out of here. After the talk, I'm done. I'm not listening to this shit.
He's like, that's the only reason I came back, just to talk about
that. He jumped off. Go ahead. You guys spin it. It's just that I'm answering this guy on the DMs.
Yeah, Sinister, get your ass up here, Sinister. But yeah, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about those? Because I mean, I was looking forward to the Conor Benn fight, you know, to see how he lasted against Adrian Granados. But that fight's not coming to fruition due to COVID. And then we have Zucan versus Woods. Then we have Joey Spencer also fighting this weekend. So what do you guys think about that?
About the Conor Benn thing, because he's an exciting greener guy. He's pulling in quite a lot of numbers, so Eddie's kind of like molding him to be like the next star. He's not like fucking Campbell Hatton, who you can clearly see he ain't going to be a good boxer like his dad to a degree. But Conor Benn he's exciting to watch his growth. What he did to Vargas was impressive, but we needed to see more rounds to see where he's got better. So sometimes when you're knocking out people in 1 and 2 rounds, yeah, it looks impressive, but we prefer to sometimes see you go like 6, 7, 8, so we could see, you know, how much you've improved. So we don't really know what level he's at the minute, because, you know, he's just knocking out people quite well. The last fight before that, I think did he get the stoppage or go the distance? The last fight before Vargas. Remember the last fight before Vargas? Conor, you guys remember? So you remember the last fight in the bubble as well?
Yeah, he stopped him. He stopped
him, did he? No, one before Vargas. That one. Who was the fight?
I'm a big. I think I see a big future for Conor Benn. Right, he's one of my favorite 147 pounders.
Who would you like to match him up with on stateside if you could pick a 147 American?
I think depending on what type of I would match him up on this side. They match him up with Granados. I like that matchup. I think he puts Granados away, but that's a perfect step up right there. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I think he can go after some of the older champions, or some of the champions that they're almost out of there, right? Like a 30. Well, it's sad, right? 33 is already old for boxing, right?
Yeah, I know.
Getting up there. So I say
Thurman. He's not ready for
not Thurman. I think Thurman is still has a little bit left. I think whatever happens with Crawford and Porter.
I'd like to see with Porter. I'd like to see Ben with Porter.
Yeah, I think him and Porter would be a good one.
Yeah,
because I think Crawford will beat up Porter.
Yeah, definitely. But the reason I'd like to see Ben against Porter, because they're both like pressure fighters, and they just both come forward. Well, you know, Porter with his fucking windmill style is just wild. So I'd like to see that matchup, how Conor Benn would handle someone that's like that, that's got some pop, and just pressures and got a good engine.
I gotta laugh at this comment from Side Encounter. He said, "I'd like to see Conor Benn versus Blair Cobbs, bro." I'm sorry, bro, but Blair Cobbs will be saying, "Woo!" straight to the fucking ground, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, man. Yeah. You're right.
Blair Cobbs had trouble with another person that was like a nobody. So, I mean, I like his character. Don't get me wrong. He'll probably sell tickets, but shit, man. He like going against a Conor Benn, a serious dude like that, or a Virgil Ortiz. There's no way.
Would you like to see Ben against Ortiz?
You know what? Speaking of Virgil Ortiz, somebody comment about Virgil Ortiz. What y'all think about his fight with Mean Machine? Is on August 14th. What y'all think about that?
Ortiz, is that who he's fighting next?
Is that who he's fighting Ortiz, next? The Mean Machine.
How comes I'm not seeing any of this though?
Kavalauskas, Mean Machine. He's saying Mean Machine.
Oh, I thought you said Mean Machine. So that's on August the 14th. I still didn't even know that. You know, I must be out the loop. I didn't know that at all.
I knew they were fighting, but I didn't remember what date. But Guido always corrected me on those things, man.
The August 14th.
Wow, so that's gonna be a good fight. We're getting good fights from August all the way into October, I guess. I like Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is another. He takes a lot of shots though. He takes a lot of punches. He absorbs a lot of punches. He doesn't have great defense. That's where he fails. Defense. Anyone agree or disagree?
I agree. I agree. He needs to definitely because here's the thing, like Canelo can take punches and you don't even see like bruises. Like it takes like 12 rounds of him getting like hit consistently for him to even see a slight bruise. But with Virgil, you've seen him get bruised up in the last fight, and you don't want to see that from a young kid. You know, that's where CTE starts to set in and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, you want to see him, use some defensive skills. Start to turn with the punches. Don't let it hit you flush. You know, and things like that. But that's on his camp. You know, to work on that. You know, they need to guide him the right way.
Yeah.
But right now, as far as offense, he's dangerous as hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Coming forward, sick. Kavaliauskas lost to Terence Crawford. Well, I could imagine that. Bud's a fucking monster. That's why I love him. That's why I fucking love him. But I'm just looking at Kavaliauskas' box rate. Oh, he beat David Avanesian as well. He's a good fighter. David, I saw him fight.
David Avanesian is the guy who beat the guy. What's this guy? Cali, right? The guy that from the Olympics from you guys.
Yeah, he fought. Did he not fight in the bubble as well? Last year, he did.
What happened to that guy Kelly? What happened to that guy Kelly that a lot of Brits were high on?
One of the Joshes, didn't he? David Avanesian. He fought one of the Joshes, one of our British. Did he fight Josh?
I think it's Kelly. Kelly, right?
Yeah, he fucked him up. He fucked him up. 5 rounds, his head was bleeding. Yeah. He's a fucking good fighter. Josh Kelly, our Joshes, no, we got Josh Warrington doing the rematch with Lara. That Lara's still going to beat him up. He's got his number. He ain't going to take that Josh Warrington. He ain't going to.
Where's that fight going to be at?
I'm not sure the date. There is a rematch date though. But he's going to lose. He ain't going to be able to adapt to the Mexican style of getting beaten up. Because Lara was the underdog. That was a fucking upset. Because on his media training, everyone was like, he's trash. That dude's trash. When he got into the ring, punches in bunches and the pop, the power that he had. Yeah, crazy. I don't think Josh Warrington, it doesn't matter about a rematch. He's not going to win. And it's sad.
You know what's crazy about that? That guy, Mauricio Lara, that guy is only like 23 years old.
Yeah.
They sent him overseas like that on a suicide mission, right?
Yeah, thought he was going to get tucked in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And Warrington vacated did he vacate? The IBF belt? I think he vacated the IBF belt. And then, because he was, I can't remember the guy that was chasing him. He basically ditched that belt, thought he'd do Lara for some reason, and I don't know what the route why they was taking that route, and Lara just fucking wiped him off, and now there's a rematch. So I don't. Well, who do you guys think will win in that rematch? If you know the fight I'm talking about.
I got Lara winning, but I don't know, right? I don't really know what the setup is gonna be, if they're gonna make the ring bigger, or any of that type of stuff, or if Warrington's gonna change his style or do something. Where it's not engaging. Because I think if he doesn't engage,
you better not trade with Lara. Troy, mute your mic, Troy, because it's giving us some mad feedback. He better not trade with Lara. The only way he's going to be able to win is to stick and move and dance around. Like you said, if the ring, they give him a bigger ring, he's going to have to dance around that ring, because trading is where he got fucked up. The dude's got power.
Hey, lady time, not for nothing though, but the Mexicans are giving you a hard time over there in the UK.
I know.
That pressure, you know?
Yeah, if your name's Josh and you're fighting on a Saturday, you're gonna probably lose. If your name's Josh and you're from the UK, you're gonna lose.
Well, you know what I noticed from watching a lot of like British boxing, like it seems like they don't have a varied style. Like they don't all they practice is more of the Olympic style or the jabbing style, right? I noticed that in between the fights, I seen that guy Cheeseman, right? He has a certain style, right?
Yeah.
But most fighters there, they don't. There's not a variation of styles. It's almost like it's a whole school of training, right? Over here in the Americas, we see the Cuban school, which has a certain style, right? But the Cuban school has even varied into the pros, right? They learned how to mix it into the pros, but
from the amateurs.
For some reason, a lot of the pro British fighters, they have a certain style. It's very weird, right? Other than heavyweights, I give credit to the heavyweights. The heavyweights have a very style. Like I see Dillian White with a different style. I see, I see what's this guy Fabio Worley? He has his own style of his own.
He's white collar. He came from white collar. So he's got
they all have a different style in the heavyweight division, but the other fighters they tend to go to the same school of fighting. I don't know, it's weird. Why is that?
And I have no clue. I always say that's why some of the fighters that have more money, like they just go over to America and get trained by American trainers because it diversifies them. I think we're a bit too rigid in our style. Like it just doesn't complement. Like if you attack. Like, this is why Warrington lost. This is what I'm saying. Because he was met with a Mexican fighter and he didn't know how to adjust to be able to fight with a Mexican fighter. Because like you said, they're on the Olympic kind of jab point system type of like that, you know. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's the training system in the UK. It's not as great as the US. That's fact.
It's like when Mexican fighters fight, they put their soul in it. They just put their whole life in it because they come from poverty. It's a different lifestyle here in Latin America.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It's a totally different lifestyle than America, you know?
Yeah, that's what it is. They fight because they need to fucking win. I think the Brits are too comfortable. You know, you're not coming from real poverty. And Mexican fighters are that fighting style. If you want to give it that name. Is one of my favorite fighting styles to see. Like it's always punches and bunches. They're gonna put their heart and soul in it. I prefer watching Mexican fighters than British, other than heavyweight fighters, because it's quite boring. Like you said, it's just one style and it's boring after a while.
I gotta give props. I gotta give props to Josh Taylor though. That guy was an animal. He knew how to fight on the inside.
Yeah, Josh Taylor proved me wrong. I'll give Josh Taylor credit, man. He's the undisputed man.
I had to defend myself against all you guys.
Glenn can tell you about that.
Yeah, right, but let me ask y'all about this. What do y'all think? I'm hearing just rumors. Nothing confirmed, but just rumors about Vasily Lomachenko possibly fighting Richard Commey.
Yeah, I saw that today on.
Yeah, so it tells me just like he fought Nakatani. If he fights Commey, he's really trying to campaign for that rematch. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's a step down.
I feel you, but in his head, he might just want to take care of him to say, hey, you know what? I beat everybody he beat. You know what I'm saying? That was relevant.
But Commey, he's a tough fucking Ghanaian youth. But he's beatable. We've seen it. He's been beatable. Like I don't feel that Loma should. I don't feel why he.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
But it's still a little intriguing though that the fact that Commey, because Loma's not like he's somebody that knocks you out with a barrage of punches that are just continuous that don't stop. Whereas Teofimo caught him. You know, so Commey is just a pressure fighter that keeps coming forward throwing haymakers, right? Yeah, man. So what do you guys think about that? And Remy, shout out to you, man. I just seen that the drug thing that you sent me about Floyd Mayweather, as far as like his actual report. So shout out to him to Remy 22 for sending me that, man. I just got it on Instagram. I really don't go on Instagram like that, but I seen that you sent me that, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. If they make the fight, obviously I'm gonna watch it, but like I said, I just think it's a step down. I still got Loma for the win on that. Definitely. Loma's got perfect punch placement. He's going to have to use his angles to avoid Richard Comey landing, because Comey is a hard hitter. He's African, he's Ghanaian, he don't come to play, but he's beatable. So I'm not that excited about it. Loma doesn't have to show that he can beat everyone at TOS. Loma should know he was the original GOAT of that kind of the 130 pounders, and then he's moved up. I don't understand why he's doing like, you know, shadow fights after TO. Just do TO and let's get it popping. You know, that's what I think. You should just wait for TO and then do that fight. Why are you fighting Comey?
It's telling me that the most probable thing is that if Teofimo fights, is what I'm seeing. That's when I heard that news. I was thinking, you know what? It's telling me that Teofimo might fight that Kambosos fight, win that. After he gets that IBF bout, he's going to 140. He's not staying at 135, regardless of what Bob's trying to tell him to do. He's not going to stay at 135 no more. That's what that tells me, right? And I would agree with Teofimo. I would agree with Teofimo to go up in weight, because I don't see him making that weight easily no more. He looks very sucked up. He looks kind of like emaciated, like I was saying earlier about the word emaciation. When it
but
just
if
looks
he
like
goes up to 140 before fighting the Loma rematch, and it's all his dad's agreed to it, it looks duckish. You have to fight Loma, then move up. Like he said, he was going to move up to 140 in December. Why don't you just fight Loma, then move up? You've got to fight.
He has a Kambosos fight, and another thing is right.
Kambosos is like, did you see Kambosos fight Lee Selby? Like,
I saw that fight.
He got a decision that went the fucking distance. Like, Kambosos is a big trash talker. He'll talk like trust me, if you just believe in trash talk, you would think that the guy is an amazing boxer. He's not. Tio's going to annihilate him within 5 rounds. Remember, I said it here. Within 5 rounds, Kambosos is gone. Gone. That's light work.
Yeah, like I was saying, you're right about all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, I'm already foreseeing the same thing, right? I see Teofimo knocking out Kambosos. But the thing is I don't see him staying on 135, especially with this news, right? If this news is true, obviously, if Lomachenko's fighting Comey, I think they've already said, Teofimo's already said, I'm out of here. I'm not going to fight 135 no more, man. This is weak. I'm too weak.
He's going to fight rematch, though. So what, you think he's not going to
do his body can only, like, if you're his handler, probably his dad, right? He's probably looking at his son saying, you know what, you can't make 135 no more after this shit. Regardless of what people say, we just have to eat the bullet. Even if I said that shit on TV, I'm out of here. That's probably what they're saying, right? If it was up to me, I want to see the fight, right? I want to see Teofimo.
That's a money fight.
I like that fight, right?
But that's a money fight. It's pay-per-view. You're gonna have to make 135 for that fight. Bob's gonna give you your guaranteed money of, what did he go up to? 3 milli, 3.5 milli guaranteed. It's gonna be pay-per-view as well. You can get some back-end money. Just do the 135 with Loma, and then fucking go to 140. You've got to fight Loma rematch. I don't care. Your dad's been everywhere saying stuff. You've got to do it. You've got to do it now. Otherwise, it just looks like a duck. Because you know Loma can't make 140. So you know Loma's not going to replace you.
I did hear, Punch Drunk came out earlier and dropped a video saying that that he was on his way over to Australia to fight the Kambosos. You know, he's a little close to that camp.
Yeah.
So my thing is so if that happens, that's probably why we're hearing rumblings of this this Lomachenko fight, because he got to stay busy too, you know.
Yeah. When was the last time Loma? He only fought the other day. He fought like a month ago.
I mean, it's midsummer now. That was like a few months ago now. You know what I mean?
Was it a few months? It feels like it was
a couple of months. I don't want to get all like technical with the semantics.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago. Yeah, we fought a couple of months ago.
So if he fights Comey, when's the expected date? What month?
Yeah, so it was, I think, I'll tell you right now. I was just looking
November.
at it. Give me 1 second. I was just looking at it.
I saw a glimpse of it today.
Yeah, keep talking. I'll interrupt. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
My dude Shadow Ghost. Salute, Shadow Ghost.
Shadow Ghost. Come on the panel, Shadow.
December 11th.
Yeah, brother.
December 11th.
December 11th.
Yeah. So you see what I'm
Claro.
saying? So it gives like a 6-month span, you know, a 6 month span, and that's what I mean. So that's kind of realistic. If this fight got pushed back to whatever date, it makes it realistic. You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so Loma wants to keep busy, keep active. Yeah, so I get it. Who else could he, Shadow, come on the panel. Who else, if it wasn't Comey, would you like to see Loma fight before Tio?
There's nobody else I would like to see him fight. There's nothing else that he can do to prove anything. That's at top rank.
Tank?
Tank's not gonna fight him. I mean, I'm just being realistic. Tank's not gonna fight him. Any guy at the top rank, any guy that's not on top rank is not gonna fight him, right?
Yeah, because they're staying on their side of the fucking stupid street, aren't they? All that bullshit.
Yeah, Comey's fought at top rank, so that's why they're making that fight. There's other guys. There's other guys at top rank though. There's other lower. There was other lower ranked guys at top rank where I think are gonna do something at 135, right? They signed obviously Carlos Balderas. They have I think they have Lindolfo Delgado at 135. They got some other guys at 135, but they're gonna push those guys along once Teofimo moves on in weight and once Lomachenko goes back to one. I think he's gonna end up going back to 130 at a certain point, especially if he doesn't end up getting a Teofimo fight. He's probably gonna drop down to 130, get some action there with Oscar Valdez is what I see happening.
Do you think
salute to Shadow Ghost? Salute to Shadow Ghost. Salute to Shadow Ghost.
My brother in the building. My brother Shadow, bro. How you feeling, brother?
Shadow!
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's poppin', my homie? What's good, homie?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You can jump in right now. Let me just respond to Remy. Remy, I can't show it right now because I will do that though. I will do the share screen, but right now it's just a live. You know what I'm saying? And we just chopping it up. But I promise you, I will show that on one of these lives where we're focused on that. I got you, brother. I appreciate the information. So shout out to you for taking the time to send me that. But go ahead, Shadow, or whoever. Like
Shadow, go ahead, Chad.
No, I just woke up, man. I've been in bed all day, bro. So I woke up, I saw y'all was on. I said, yo, yeah, I'm gonna swing through.
Yeah.
You know, Major Key, my guy.
Yeah, we're just talking about, the usual fucking the hate on Canelo, what they're saying about Plant being the biggest thing since sliced bread, and that Canelo has to duck him, and this and that, and now that the Bivens in the
that's fucking hilarious.
They're saying Bivens is not a good enough fight. Bivens sometimes the duck is better. I'm glad he ducked. I'm glad Plant ducked. We got a better fight now.
This shit is hilarious, bro, because last year everybody was saying, oh, Canelo moved up to 175. He fought the weaker of the champions. He ducking Bivol and Better Beef. Blah, 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 blah. Then fucking Caleb Plant comes on, and all he does is ask for A-side shit, like an A fight. Everybody want to talk A-side, B-side, you across the fence, you over there. I don't like that shit either, but they on that shit. Everybody today is on that shit. Oh, yeah, he the A-side. Yeah,
but bro, you have to accept.
No. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm getting to a point. Like a lot of these guys on these channels, they're more concerned with another man's pockets than the actual fight.
Right.
And so, but since you guys want to be like that, Canelo the A side. So he's asking for A side shit. And you've been complaining about your hands. Oh fucking every time they ask Caleb, how you doing? How was your day? He gotta mention his fucking hands. So yeah, he was worried about that. Yo, if you don't come in and fight me, bro, I just want to guarantee that I get the same money. Yeah. Anyway, so the fight goes sideways. Now he fucking moves up and is fighting the same guys that they said that he was ducking. Right. But now they don't want that though. Because it doesn't fit their narrative, because it makes Canelo actually look like a dude that'll fight anybody right now.
Right.
So they don't, but that doesn't fit well with what they put on their with their cash apps and shit like that. That shit don't fit well. So it's got to be Plant is ducking them. It's fucking hilarious.
Has to be. He's gonna fight either Beterbiev or Bivol, but he's ducking Plant. Okay, all right, Plant. Look at Plant's resume. It's fucking atrocious. What I don't understand how they can go with that. Canelo is ducking Caleb Plant. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But I'm glad anyway. Fuck Caleb Plant. we're moving along. He's got his 15 minutes of fame. He's now going to be getting beat for 500 grand and lose his belt to one of the other lads. Benavidez will fight him, beat him for 400K, and that will be it. And move on with his life. Canelo will go on to do Bivol, whatever. He's still going to get 30, 35 mil, and it's a way better fight for us. The duck was actually better off. I'm glad he ducked it. We get better fight.
Yeah.
Facts. Because Beterbiev or Bivol, I have him beating Bivol because when I see Bivol, he came off a bit of ring rust. I think Craig Richards was the last person that I saw him fight. Although he beat Richards, and Richard was a big prospect under Eddie. He destroyed Richards. He won't destroy Canelo, but it'll be a good fight. Beterbiev now, that's going to be if he fights Beterbiev, then you may have to see that Canelo may be a bit mortal because Beterbiev has got pop.
Mm-hmm.
He's got fucking power. So
yeah, I don't see anybody like running over Canelo. I don't give a fuck what weight class he's in, but it ain't like the man's not beatable. He's fucking human.
Yeah.
But he's showing an example of like 5 years ago, and I think I've told you this before. I've told other people this before. 5 years ago, I wasn't a huge Canelo Alvarez fan. I mean, I'm really not a huge Canelo.
I'm not a fan anyway. Yeah.
As the years went on,
I grew on me.
Like he grew on me because 5 years ago, I saw what people were saying. I was like, yeah, he could be fighting because he was fighting like I remember he was fighting like Shane Mosley. He was fighting Cotto. I'm like, come on, bro. You already know that these are greats, but they're greats past their prime, bro. You know what I mean? I understood at the time, but at the time I didn't really understand that he was so young. He was so young, and he was moving up. And now, by the time now, I see him, and really, what makes me respect him more is actually not just what we think. It's what other boxers think. All these other channels want to make it seem like this guy ain't the shit or whatever. Well, how come Gervonta Davis looks up to him? How come Shakur Stevenson looks up to him? How come all these fucking guys look up to him? So when you're respected in your own craft by other people that are great, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it to him. Then on top of that, he goes to 168. He says, yo, I want all the belts. I want all the belts. So he fights champion after champion. Yeah, he has to get a mandatory out the way. He has to. So he got Yildirim out the way. I mean, that's when I started respect. Like, okay, and then add on to the fact that every time I see him, he gets better. His defense is better every time. So,
and he stays dedicated. He's always in the gym. The money doesn't change him. He's not lazy. He lives like a boxer. Proper boxer. I respect him. I don't understand why he doesn't have to be your favorite fighter, but you have to respect.
And he's still young, and he's still younger than a lot of these guys that they're saying that
30, 31.
You know,
yeah. And the thing is, he has, like, do you know how impressive it is that he's only 30, 31, but he's fought like, you know, the other greats, you know, the tail end of, you know, where Mayweather was, like you said, the Sugar Shane Mosleys and that. Like, he's crossed like a couple generations, and he's only 31.
And that's when I realized too. I think it was like last year. I was like, now I see why he did all that. Like it all makes sense because he was so young, and plus he was getting his name up. And now even now, if he fights, let's say he fights a fucking a Ryder or what was the guy they always talk about? Fielding. They always talk about Fielding and shit like that.
Yeah.
Even if he does fight one of these type of fights, he'll do that. But then he'll at least Canelo goes, okay, I'm gonna give you a real fight. Then I'm gonna give you like an okay fight. But then I'm gonna give you a real fight. But then I'm gonna give you an okay. But then I'm gonna give you a real. At least he fucking does that. Now, all these guys that y'all saying he's ducking, who the fuck are they? Who? Tell me who
are they?
They don't even fight each other.
Yeah.
They don't even fight each other. Charlo ain't even fighting
Yo,
Andre.
Shadow.
What the fuck is going on?
There was an idiot we had on the panel earlier. He was saying that Callum Smith is a bum and Billy Joe is a bum. That Canelo's fighting European bums. I was like, how he's a bum if he's ranked number 168? How he's a bum? You know what I mean?
He got that from the cheeseburger guy, the Dante cheeseburger guy. That's where he got that from.
Yeah, the LDBC narrative boys.
LDBC narrative. He's fighting nothing but champions, bro. He's fighting number champion. So how the fuck? I mean, yo, if y'all think that your guys that
Two
could beat him,
undefeated fighters are
Charlo,
bums. That's crazy.
if y'all think Charlo and Andre could beat him, then Charlo and Andre should move up to 168 and get those belts before he does.
This is what I'm saying. Instead of calling out his name, why don't you fucking move to 168 then and make it look like you do want to fight him, Charlo?
Right.
But right now, everyone's saying that Canelo should go back down to 160 because he ducked Charlo and he has to prove that he can beat Charlo. Fuck out of here. Charlo just about could look
Let
at
me
who Charlo
ask y'all. Let me ask y'all a serious question. Let me ask you a serious question. Do y'all really think after Charlo struggled with Juanito,
this is what I'm saying,
that he's gonna beat Canelo?
This is
Are
what
you
I'm saying.
fucking? Are you out of your mind?
This is
Are
what I'm
you
saying.
like? This is why I know at this moment is narratives. Before at least before I could be like, okay, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. They are entitled to their own opinion. Fuck it. If that's who you like, you don't like them, whatever it is, what it is. But as a boxing fan, you just saw Charlo struggle against Juanito. Not saying I don't want to say anything bad against him, but it's the truth. And this is the guy that you're saying that Canelo ducked. This is the guy that you're saying that's gonna beat Canelo. Well, bro, come on now, like think about it. With Canelo's defense and the way that he fights, Charlo's food for him.
He will beat Charlo easy, and I'm saying that for facts. Hechos.
Canelo will stop him. In the 5th round, 6th round.
Oh,
Or if not, knock him out cold.
I think Charlo ends up being smarter than Plant in this sense. He's like, you know what? I'm putting my finger in there. I'm seeing where the wind blows, and guess what? I think I'm about to cash this shit out. I think Charlo might be the first one to cash out versus Canelo.
Right. I think Charlo might actually fight him though. I think as much as he talks shit, I bet you if they would have offered him 10 million, I bet you he would have said, fuck it. I know I'm about to lose my strap. I'm about to lose my but fuck it. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna get that bag. I don't know how Canelo, Caleb Plant's wife. We were talking about this. Remember, Lady Shan? I was like, let me tell you something. I'm not like right now. I'm not with my son's mother. But when I was with my son's mother, if I would have turned down 10 million,
you'd be divorced. She divorced you.
That shit would be a wrap, bro. I know. Caleb Plant's wife got to be like, how'd you fuck that up? You need to talk to Al. You better go say something to Al. You better go tell Al, hey, listen, Al. I know y'all trying to get him in a 3-fight deal. I know that this is what you want because at the end of the day, I think it comes down to Al more than Caleb. But still, Caleb Plant is his own man.
Yeah,
he's his own man.
Yeah,
be like, bro, don't fuck that bag up for me. But no,
the bag has left the building. The bag is like Coach said. The bag has left the building.
He runs to the media. He's the first one that runs to the media and complains about everything that Canelo wanted, which basically all he wanted was everything that he complained about. He said, oh, you want a piece of the pay-per-view? Yeah, you ain't bringing none in. Okay, that's number one. He didn't want a 3-fight deal because he just got out a fucking lawsuit with Canelo, Oscar.
Golden Boy.
Golden Boy and all that shit. Everything that he was asking for to me was just A-side shit, which what all these other guys is on A-side, B-side, tanks to A-side, tanks to A-side. Okay, well, all he did was ask for A-side shit, and Caleb Plant goes on the media and list everything that Canelo asked for, but you ain't list nothing that you asked for. You ain't list how much you was getting paid. You ain't list all the demands that you fucking probably asked. Because in a contract, you give some, you take some. You give some, you take some. And you meet somewhere in the middle.
He listed all the things that he accepted, what that Canelo said, but you didn't list the things that you didn't accept.
Right.
So why not tell us that then?
Tell us everything.
Yeah. And you know what the PBC boys are saying? It's not Caleb. It's down to Al. Caleb's not saying all of this really. So I'm like, so why did he come out and say stuff then? If it's down to Al, shut your mouth. Because if you come out at the front of house, if you go to a hotel, the first person you speak to is the fucking receptionist. You don't speak to the hotel owner. You speak to the receptionist. She represents how you get into the hotel. So if you don't want to be questioned or critiqued, Caleb Plant, you shouldn't have said nothing. You shouldn't.
Don't worry, like I said, don't worry. This fight's gonna happen in December.
It's not happening. This fight's
Yeah,
not
it is gonna happen. Plant versus Canelo is gonna happen in December, like I said, right? It's at the anabolics were
not
off.
happening.
The anabolics were off, and the testing. It's 68 months, 6 to 8 months. The hair sample follicle wears out, and I'm telling you, he's gonna take the fight in December because by that time the lifespan of the anabolics in the system are out. So that's what I've been saying, and that's what I'm sticking with. After the fight ended, after they stopped the fight, I knew this shit was gonna happen. I was like, you know what?
This shit ain't happening.
It's gonna happen in December.
No,
He's gonna accept it in December. Watch.
This shit ain't gonna happen. Because you want to know why? You want to know why? What? Rep it. Maybe if this was the first time, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it happening. That was the third time. Canelo's at a point where he's like, fuck it, I'm about to show these motherfuckers I don't need you, bro.
Right.
You need me more than I need you.
Yeah.
Why you think everybody asking to fight me? It's about me. That's who. Remember Scarface? It was about me. I built this shit. Me. That's who. I mean, he don't need him, bro.
He don't need him.
This is the third time. This is the third time, bro. The first time he said he didn't have enough time. And then the second time was right before he fought. Was, as a matter of fact, Punch was even talking about this.
True.
And I don't agree with everything Punch says.
True.
But I agree with him on that. The second time, yeah, right before Truax, yeah. The talks went south. Then the third time was this time. That's 3 times. That's 3 times.
Yeah. It's Major. Are you saying that everybody's going over to Black and Browns?
Yes, ma'am, but he's not live yet. I've already I'm in communication with him.
Okay. When he's live, we can go over to Black and Browns. Yeah.
Well, we smoke Friday, baby. Let's do it.
He put his reminder for 10 o'clock, but he's not live yet. He's gonna hit me up as soon as he hits me up. I'm gonna let all of y'all know. Hey, listen, let's move over to Black and Brown because
I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this.
It's the original Free Smoke Friday for me. You know what I'm saying? But we still got time, so keep cooking. Keep cooking.
I'm gonna say this about Plant, right? Just looking at the technique of the way he's evading fights and the way he's scheduling fights, I'm 100%. And just seeing him on the scale, his body type and the muscle bellies and the bubbles and the water, the type of water that sticks into certain areas, especially in the abdominals and the chest area for being 6'1", I'm 100% sure that they're selecting fights around cycling, right? I'm already seeing it, right? You can see it 100% with this guy. Like that's why he only fights 1 time a year, right? It's obvious to me, right? That's the reason he was delaying the fight delaying the fight. He figured that he might be able to get this fight like in November. Didn't happen. It's September. Canelo's not moving from September.
Yeah.
That shit, the stuff that he's taking, the anabolics he's taking, which can be some SARMs, which can be some other types of anabolics some synthetics.
Yeah.
That is gonna last in the system 6 to 8 months. So his last fight was versus Truax in late January, right?
Yeah.
Where was that fight at, by the way, right?
I don't know. It was boring as fuck. I turned it off, and I never turned it off.
That fight versus Truax wasn't in Las Vegas, right?
No.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. In Las Vegas is the only commission that does hair sample follicles. Yeah. The fight versus Canelo was set to happen in Las Vegas in September. So they were going to get hair follicles sampled. That's what a lot of people aren't following. That's the only commission that does the hair sample follicles.
That's what.
So he knows the shit. He knows the shit. He's not gonna do the fight in September, especially if he's cycling on some shit. That's why in the interviews. That's why in that one interview where he trashed Canelo to Coppinger, he mentions testing. He's almost pointing 3 fingers back at himself. He says we need to start testing. When he knows damn well he's not going to accept the fight because he knows he might pop.
Yeah.
So that's just my theory. It's a theory and it's an allegation, but I'm just saying, don't be surprised if he takes it in December.
It's a good theory.
I've been, bro. I
don't think the fight will happen still.
If it happens, like I said, I'll be the first one to be like, hey man, I'm so glad this shit happened. And like I said, I'll even come out live. I even told you what, rep it over the phone. I said, hey, if this shit happens, I'll do it, but it ain't gonna happen, my guy.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
My opinion, it ain't gonna happen because it's been 3 times. It's been 3 times, bro. If it was maybe the second time, at least maybe this, I'd be like, okay, there's always You've done business 3 times.
They're already moving on. Eddie
And
already
3
said.
times you got nowhere. You
Yeah.
got nowhere 3 times. It's time to move on.
Yeah, Eddie said they're moving on.
Listen to this, guys. Listen to this, right?
The Bags left the building.
This is what you got to watch out for, right? Because it's not just Plant accepting the fight, right? Canelo it's my thing that Canelo might not even offer Plant a fight again. He might not even offer him, right? But if he wants it, he's gonna get it, right? I think Caleb's gonna accept on the next one, right? But what I'm saying is this: I got to see actually Canelo's body itself at 175. Because if his body is at 175 when it stabilizes there, they're not gonna move back down to 168, and that's gonna be a whole sign for everybody else. He's gonna stay at 175 in campaign. So it just depends on how his body looks and feels, right? Because what I've seen in certain videos of him training, even when he's fighting Ronald Ellis, I can tell he's probably about 185 in those videos.
Yeah, when he's walking around,
he's about 185.
185, 190, he probably walks around at Canelo.
Yeah, so he's gonna cut to 170. He's gonna make that cut to 175, and depending on how his body feels out, he's not gonna go back to 168. Sadly for all these other guys, if they think they're gonna get a fight there, it's not gonna happen anymore. If he feels too comfortable, that's what I see happening. Because he looked very fit. When I saw him.
Yeah. Canelo, he's comfy at one. He's always been a big dude for a shorter guy. He's dense. Even when he fought like Floyd and they did the catch weight and stuff, is because even at 154, that was hard work for him to even make that. So 160, 168, he will acclimate to 175 easily. That's just his body type.
Yeah, there's body types that can hold muscle, that pack on muscle in certain areas, right? That hit the shoulder, hit the arms, hit the wide back and the legs, right? I think obviously Canelo has that body. A guy like Tank Davis has that body. A guy like Mike Tyson had that body.
Where
they have a body where they can put on weight and it doesn't turn into disgusting. Over what I call that is spillover.
Yeah.
So when someone they spill over in certain areas, right? So they don't spill over because they have a certain body type. Obviously, they're blessed with some type of genetic, right?
Yeah.
That too, right? But there's certain body types that can take it, right? But yeah, that's my whole thing on that, right?
He's one of them. I saw ex-boxer, I can't remember his name, British boxer. He was on an interview a few weeks back saying he feels that Canelo should go to cruiserweight and forget 175. I was like, is this guy fucking like all right? Like
I've heard Eddie Reynoso in some Spanish interviews say that they might even look into going into cruiser.
He's too small.
Seriously, they're saying this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying, right? This is what they're saying, right? He said, and he said everything. He's saying the blueprint that's gonna happen, and you got to believe him, right? He said, we tested 160. His body acclimatized. We tested 168. His body's obviously acclimatized. We tested 175 for Kovalev. His body acclimatized, but we decided to campaign at 168. He says, I'm gonna challenge him. We're gonna go up to 175 when we clean up 168, and I'm gonna do 175. And if people still don't believe nothing when he cleans that shit out, I'm gonna challenge him to go to cruiser. That's what he said.
Do you think he can clean out 175? Do you think he can clean it out?
Well, if he beats Bivol and Better Beef, what's left? He's just gonna. Those other guys are beatable. If he beats these two guys, those other guys are beatable.
Let me say this. First and foremost, shout out to the whole chat. And Monkey Kung Fu, I just seen you drop the last one, man. Shout out to you for being here, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. I've seen you on other channels before, but never seen you here. So shout out to you, man. But yeah, man. I just want to bring a final round because Black and Brown edited his start time to 10:10, so that's about 4 minutes from now. So everybody go ahead and give your final thoughts, and also let's tell everybody, you know what I'm saying, where to find you, and that's about 1 minute each. So don't like be all short and sweet. Just tell everybody what your final thought is based on the subjects. If we cross over by a couple minutes, it's okay. But you know, just let everybody know what your final thoughts are and where to find you.
Go, Shadow.
Hey, first of all, thanks for having me on, Major Key, Guido, What Rep It, Lady Chin. You know I fucks with everybody on this panel.
Yeah. For sure, homie.
We love
everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all for swinging through. Shadow Ghost 81 is my channel, as you see on the bottom right there. I drop videos when I can, and I'll be going live later on. Right now, I'm taking care of some things, but you see videos come from my channel all the time. Just hit that notification bell, and I drop them sporadically. There is no set schedule. I just drop it whenever the fuck I feel like it, because I don't do this for money. I do this as a hobby. So Shadow Ghost 81 is where you can find me. Also, my email is on there. Is shadowghostboxing@gmail.com.
Go Guido. Go Guido.
That was
It's your
spoken
birthday.
Ya tú sabes, ya tú sabes. Hoy se bebe. Hoy se bebe.
Follow what
Hoy
rep
se bebe.
Instagram
Hey.
if you guys have that. I just started that. And salute to the entire panel. Everybody, Major Keys, your boss, Shadow Ghost, Lady Shan, and Guido always. Tirando madre, cabrón. You're the best, brother.
Ya tú sabes, cabrón. Hoy se bebe.
No, I appreciate you.
Nah,
popping
but
up
yo,
your
I
first
want to
time
thank
on
all
the
of you
record.
guys, man. Everybody in the chat, man. This is what I love. This is what I like to do. Talk boxing and bring that real shit. You know what I mean? As long as
We
I'm
have
around
fun,
YouTube,
don't we,
I'ma
Guido?
always keep it real. You know, whether you like it or not. That's
We
just
have
me. You know
fun.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have fun. Don't we, Guido? We have fun when we're on panels together.
Hey,
For
Lady
sure,
Chan,
for sure,
so none of them took up their full minute, except for Shadow Ghost. He took like 48 seconds. So you get like another 2 minutes.
Oh shit! You see when I'm not supposed to talk, I'm talking. When I'm supposed to talk, I have nothing to fucking say. No. Salute to Major Key Boxing all day long. It's a pleasure to be on your panel. Love the channel. Always watching, the greats that you have on there. Salute to Troy Graham as well. You can find me all social medias at Lady Shan, LadyChann. But my YouTube channel, as you can see, is Lady Shan London Season. Even if you just type in Lady Shan or Lady Shan Boxing, comes up. I drop videos, news flashes daily. I also interview people. I also have panels like this where we just chop it up. And yeah, that's what I do. Ya tú sabes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. No, and shout out to all of
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
And I'm glad you emailed me to let me know that somebody had hidden you, because that's definitely not how I roll.
I know.
Yeah, so that's not how I roll. So once you told me how to
Real
fix
quick,
that,
Lady Chan. I'm sorry, Major K. I forgot, Lady Chan. Make sure that you email me your URL link.
I replied to
you.
you.
You did. Because even Major Key will tell you, I have an issue on my channel. I don't know why, about adding moderators. He called me about the moderator. I don't know. It's fucked up. But just give me your URL.
I sent my URL. Yeah, because people hide people and stuff like that. And I went over to another channel that I've never been on. Maestro was on it, and I was hidden. And it was only one moderator. They only had one moderator, so I knew who it was. And it was it's just ridiculous. So we just have to rent.
I'll add you on there.
I got hidden on Myron's channel, Boxing Logic United, and I had to text him yesterday, like, "Yo, Myron, I got hidden by somebody, bro." And
really?
Yeah. So, and that's my dude right there. I talked to him on the phone.
Me too.
You know like me and him could chop it up for like I think I chopped it up for him for like 2 hours one time, just debating on religion and this and this. And that. Yeah. So you know how Myron gets long-winded sometimes. Yo, salute to him though, man. Everybody subscribe to Boxing Logic United. As well.
Yeah, Myron. Salute, Myron.
Yeah, subscribe to Shadow Ghost 81. Subscribe to Lady Chan. You know what I mean? And right now, let's move it over to my man Black and Brown, y'all. He's about to go live.
Free Smoke Friday, baby.
Yeah, this was pre-smoke. This was pre-smoke. We just lit the fuse. It's about to blow up over there. So y'all go check out my boy.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of heat.
I know.
Everybody here on the panel. Thank you, everybody in the chat, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Salute.
Salute.
Buenas noches.